in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, January 3rd, our top story. Small sign of normalcy in the French Quarter.
I'm Erik Bilstad, remembering an MPS superintendent.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking great so far this morning. Just have one broken down vehicle on 41 northbound right at Pilgrim Road. Off on the right shoulder, really not causing any kind of problems at this point. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, maybe a few morning flurries and then becoming mostly sunny with a high of 24 degrees, mainly clear skies overnight. Forgot to look for the northern lights. No, meteor shower. What were we promised overnight?
Meteor shower.
Something to look up for.
Do you see it?
I didn't. I forgot. Mainly clear skies tonight to see whatever it is you'd like. Wind chills dropping to perhaps below zero. And right now at 21 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Bourbon Street officially reopened. City of New Orleans recovering from the New Year's Day attack that left 14 confirmed dead, at least 35 injured. Extra security measures are being taken to ensure the public safety. Leah McNeil reports.
Law enforcement presence here in the French Quarter and around the CBD is something you can definitely see, and it's something you can for sure feel. Still very different from what we saw yesterday when Bourbon Street first reopened. There were two huge armored trucks right here. Those have been moved. There's also no longer a car right now at the base of Bourbon Street, but the Bourbon Street is blocked off a block distance on each side with barricades and different construction materials.
Those barricades the city of New Orleans has were not working the night of the attack and needed to be replaced. Security measures that night did not stop the driver.
Former Milwaukee police chief and current chief of the Fitchburg Police, Alfonso Morales, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the problem sometimes lies in the funding alone.
It costs money.
But threats like these have not gone away.
Those are challenges. When I was a chief down there, I would often have to get involved in these meetings with elected officials and some private sector people who didn't want to pay the money for the security that was needed.
He believes the most important measure is not what happened, but what didn't happen. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Two former Milwaukee County correctional officers accused of abusing inmates now face criminal charges. Prosecutors say Rafael Gomez and Marcus Reeder punched inmates and used pepper spray on them. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says it is working with the District Attorney's Office to provide evidence and other information. Both men scheduled to appear in court later this month.
An update to a story we've been following closely here on Wisconsin's Morning News. We're learning more about the victims killed in New Lisbon as a manhunt continues for the shooter.
33-year-old Elizabeth Colbo was found dead at a home on West Bridge Street on Monday. New Lisbon police have not released the names of the two juvenile victims, but did reveal their ages are 12 and 13. Police are still searching for 47-year-old Virgil Thu, who is considered armed and dangerous. He has over a dozen previous felony convictions, including possessing a gun as a felon, burglary, and theft. Juneau County Sheriff's Office has shared a new photo of Thu shopping at New Lisbon Dollar General on Sunday. Find that image on our website at WTMJ.com. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
New U.S. Congress and the House will decide later today whether Speaker Mike Johnson will hold on to that position. ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
He can only afford to lose one Republican vote, and Tom Massey of Kentucky is already a firm no. ABC News counts at least 17 others who are undecided.
You have a lot like me who said that we're not there yet.
Congressman Ralph Norman of South Carolina belongs to the Arch Conservative Freedom Caucus, which met with Johnson.
What are your sticking points right now with Johnson?
Same things as always been. Spending.
President-elect Trump has endorsed Johnson. Without a speaker in place, business in the Capitol will grind to a halt, just as he's poised to take office.
There's expected to be a vacancy when the House convenes for the vote. Former GOP Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida said he will not retake the seat to which he was elected in the new Congress.
In Wisconsin in 2025, TMJ4 Chief Political Reporter Charles Benson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News there's going to be a challenge on who controls the state Supreme Court.
We're at a significant point. It currently leans 4-3 liberal, and now one of the liberal-leaning justices is leaving, and so it raises the question, is it Susan Crawford, the one liberal-leaning candidate, or Brad Schimmel, the conservative-leaning candidate?
The election for the new state Supreme Court justice will be held in April.
A former Milwaukee Public Schools superintendent has died.
Robert Peterkin was a Harvard grad who cut his teeth in education in Boston before becoming the first black superintendent of MPS appointed after a full-scale job search in 1988. He would leave the district to take a position at his alma mater in 1991. When reflecting on his time at MPS in 2010, Peterkin acknowledged a desire to have done more for the district.
To take any time around conversations about all the stuff that happens around schools is a disastrous waste of time.
Peterkin was 79 years old. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Coming up, more sinkhole problems in one Milwaukee suburb.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:08.
If you checked out on the Bucks when they were down 24, you missed a heck of a finish. We got sports at 6:15.
Internet speeds could soon slow down for some consumers due to a federal court decision announced on Thursday.
Net neutrality no longer has any say when it comes to regulating the internet, according to the U.S. Court of Appeals. Marquette University professor of digital media and performing arts, Dr. Erik Uglin, says the repeal against the FCC's internet regulations could bring concerns to consumers.
It basically empowers these huge companies that have already monopolistic influence in their domains to use that power to squeeze consumers even more.
Dr. Uglin says consumers should compare internet plans in the future to make sure that they get the best service possible. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Another brewery group is ending its run in Milwaukee, but will continue on as it's bought out by a larger organization. Explorium Brewpub owner Mike Doble telling WTMJ that the group has bought out Good City Brewing. They were struggling within the industry this last year.
2024 was a pretty difficult year for everybody in the hospitality industry, and we're also affected by that. And we floated some ideas about how we could join forces and maybe share some staff. Eventually, it led to us discussing, you know what, Mike, why don't you just find a way to buy me out and take over the brand?
The new buyout will keep all the staff from Good City Brewing, but the Good City brand itself will eventually transition out.
Photos of what happened in Whitefish Bay, quite remarkable. The car falling into a sinkhole. The driver had driven through a closed road area. Whitefish Bay police say the water main break led to a road closure at Console Place in East Lake View Avenue late last month. An SUV drove around the road closed signs. Roadway partially collapsed under the weight of the car. The car's front passenger tire got stuck in the hole. You could see it kind of sticking up in the air there. Towing company eventually pulled the vehicle out.
That's what road closed means. This report brought to you by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Slipping on the ice?
Ugh.
Someone else shoveling your driveway?
Ah.
Cold feet?
Ugh.
Toasty tootsies?
Ah.
Waking up to a cold house?
Ugh.
With no warm air coming from the register?
Ugh.
And discovering your antiquated furnace is DOA.
Ugh.
But now, this is you learning that Mr. Holland's Home Services can install a new, fully warranted, highly efficient comfort system.
Ah.
Better yet, you can enjoy consistent, cozy comfort with payments as low as $79 a month with approved credit.
Ah.
Because you deserve it.
Ah.
If your failing furnace is showing signs of old age, be proactive. Call Mr. Holland's Home Services to schedule the installation of your brand new, fully functional comfort system for a low monthly rate. And take your winter from
Ugh.
to 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Ready to put some thought in your we can help.
Checking in on the morning roads at 6:10. Debbie, what do you got?
Yeah, not much. We've got a pretty good ride shaping up across the area. Not seeing any delays right now. No real big incidents or anything like that affecting your ride. So far, so good. And the winter road conditions, those are moving along well. Everything looks good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a few morning flurries, becoming sunny and blustery this afternoon. Temperatures topping out in the mid-20s. Northwest winds could gust as high as 30 miles per hour. It's mainly clear and breezy tonight, low of around 10. Wind chills could fall below 0. Mostly sunny and breezy for Saturday with a high of 22. More clouds for Sunday, highs in the mid-20s. There's a chance for a few morning snow showers at the lakefront on Monday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 20s. We'll hold on to clouds for Tuesday with a high of 26. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
We're at 21 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
6:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Big day today.
It is a big day.
Always a big day. Big day in Washington. The front end of many important days in the coming weeks in our nation's capital.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
119th Congress kicks off. Members in the House and Senate to be sworn in today. In the House, not before they elect a speaker. Republicans have a razor-thin margin in the House, and Louisiana's Mike Johnson may not be a first ballot winner of the post.
Thomas Massey, who's long time been a spending hawk. He has said he's a firm no on Mike Johnson. In the current makeup of the House, Johnson can only afford to lose one vote, which means if there was just one more no vote, he would not get the Speaker's gavel. And as we saw with Kevin McCarthy, that would trigger another round of voting, and they would keep having round after round after round until someone finally got the requisite support to win.
ABC's Jay O'Brien there. Yeah, you may recall on the front end of the 118th Congress, it took, 3 days?
Yeah.
15 votes to get Kevin McCarthy elected, a post which he would ultimately lose anyway, which then cleared the way for Johnson. The latter does have the support of the incoming president.
President-elect Trump is standing by his support of Johnson. Trump's political team is working the phones to some of these undecided members. They're also confident.
And so we know how that can move the needle. ABC's Catherine Falder's reporting.
I think Massey, that congressman's in the catbird seat right now because he's not going to be the decider. He's the one that gets away with it.
Right. I already told you I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm my person.
So it's the next congressperson.
That's a good point. Wisconsin's congressional delegation remains largely unchanged, but for one new member. Republican and political newcomer Tony Weed elected to the vacant seat in northeast Wisconsin. So he's got the first day of school jitters today, you would expect. He's the new guy.
There with the family, doing the oath and all that stuff.
Have the kid hold the Bible and stuff like that. And so big day for him.
Yeah.
He's one of 65 new members in the august body that is the House of Representatives. Set to gavel in 11 o'clock our time and again can conduct no business until that speaker post is filled. That's a story to watch today. Sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
In a recent study, over one-third of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture and Mattress. They are having a New Year's mattress sale going on now. You know how I know that, E?
You went?
Because my wife went and bought one on New Year's Day.
Well done.
Decided our son needed a new mattress. Built Right will beat any big box, national or local chain store, department store, employee-free store, online retailer, or warehouse club because they have the guaranteed lowest prices. Built Right has the best value, selection, and experienced team in Wisconsin. Over 60 models, 500 mattresses in stock. Yep, she brought it home, loaded up in the minivan. It's on the boys' bed already. Choose for the best mattress brands. Made in the USA. You'll know these brands: Heirloom, Gold Bond, Therapeutic, Restonic, and Schiffman. Built Right offers free delivery and removal on mattress-only purchases of $7.99 or more. Built Right always saves you money, voted best place to shop. Here's how you know. Teenagers who notice virtually nothing. My teenage daughter went with my wife and said, people are really nice here. Like, they're very helpful. Now, why would she know or even say that? But that's the kind of folks you work with over there at Built Right. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
3 Green Bay Packers named to the NFL Pro Bowl: defensive lineman Rashawn Gary, running back Josh Jacobs, and safety Xavier McKinney.
Gary? He had that good of a year?
I don't know. Who did?
I'm happy for him.
Right. It's fine. There are skills competitions and a flag football game now the week before the Super Bowl. That's about it now these days. I mean, they don't pad it up anymore and play a whole game with guys going 3/4 speed.
Right.
It's fine.
Fast, early, and often. We need to execute on every opportunity.
Tight end Tucker Kraft talking about what the Packers need to do to finish strong and beat the Bears on Sunday.
I want to see juice. I want to see us out there right away, getting the ball to our back, letting him just be him, and then get some flavor going in the next couple drives and just execute. We're not asking for perfection, but just each guy to do their job one play at a time.
Now, he did drop the one play at a time cliche in the back end there, but credit Kraft for finding some other ways.
Yeah, he changed it up with the juice and the flavor.
Juice and the flavor. And we're 18 weeks into the NFL season, trying to come up with different ways to describe how we're going to try to win a football game. Noon kick in Green Bay on Sunday, and then the playoffs. Went to the Bucs game last night. Largely unwatchable.
It was pretty bad to start.
Bucs down as many as 24 points. Brought it nearly all the way back with a chance to win. Final seconds of the game, Bucs down 1. Giannis has it at the top of the key.
He wants this ball. He wants a chance to win it. He's going downhill, down the lane, lays it up. That one missed. Oh, my. Rebounded underneath by Thomas, and he was fouled.
The finger roll, it rimmed out, and that was pretty much that.
In back-to-back games, the Milwaukee Bucks charged back from major deficits to put themselves in a position to win. Coach Doc Rivers thinks the Bucks can learn from their resilience.
Taking the final result out of it, what can you take away from that fourth quarter push and apply to future scenarios?
Ooh, boy, that's a hell of a question. You're never out of a game. Dame got a wide-open 3. Giannis had a dunk and a layup. Most of the time, you're going to make 2 or 3 of those. I wouldn't have felt any different if we had won the game. I thought we were going to win the game once we got it down. I wouldn't have felt any better about it.
At Fiserv Forum, Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Sports.
Yeah, we did not win the game. Bucks fall to the Nets. 113-110 is the final. Got the Trailblazers at Fiserv Forum tomorrow night for a 7 p.m. tip.
College hardwood, UW Milwaukee Panthers. They hadn't done this in more than 90 games. Scored less than 50 points. Woof. Team was on a 5-game winning streak. Coach Lundy said that they were feeling really good about themselves. Went into Oakland, take on the Golden Grizzlies, but it was not meant to be. Oakland just beats them down 65-49. The final. Up next, Detroit Mercy tomorrow. Badgers, they play Iowa tonight at the Kohl Center. And Badgers hockey, by the way, men's fall to the Spartans 4-3. The women beat Ohio State 6-0. Same teams all play tomorrow at Wrigley Field. That'll be pretty neat in Chicago. Badger Sports Updates sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
Wanted to get you some information on the shooting suspect in that United Healthcare CEO shooting that took place in New York.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
Charged with murder as an act of terrorism. Kind of bizarre when I saw that.
Tune in to Wisconsin's afternoon news, where your day's story unfolds. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Only here on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee with another happy family. Custom designing a new closet space with my friends Katie and Dan can do a lot more than provide additional storage. Listen to this local mom. She worked with Inspired Closets on her daughter's bedroom. Custom drawers, built-in jewelry box. They even got rid of her old dresser. And best of all, here's a quote. They took our daughter's small closet and turned it into a little girl's dream come true. Family was so impressed they have now done multiple projects with Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Closet, pantry, garage, any space in the house that needs to function better. That gives you anxiety because it's always a mess. Katie and Dan and their team will listen to your needs. They will work with you to custom design solutions. Brighten your home and your family life. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Winter's here and here to stay, so it's time to stock up on cold weather essentials at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Stay toasty with unbeatable prices on insulated boots, outerwear, thermal layers, wool socks, and a great range of home and garage heaters. Keep animals comfortable with heated equipment, de-icers, and livestock bedding. Plus, stay safe on the go with trusted brands of tires and batteries, portable jump starters, ice scrapers, antifreeze, and more. Trust the cold weather experts and find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
At 6:21, Debbie Lazica with an update on traffic.
Yeah, we're looking actually pretty good for the most part. We do have one broken down vehicle on 43 northbound, right about at Michigan Street. This is just on 4394, just before you get to the Marquette proper. It's off on the right shoulder, but it's kind of in a weird spot, so just be extra careful. The rest of the system looking really good. Light volume and pretty much full freeway speeds. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Some morning flurries and then becoming mostly sunny today. A bit on the breezy side with a high of 24 degrees. Tonight's low 10 and wind chills might dip below 0. For the weekend, mostly sunny and breezy on Saturday, high of 22 degrees and very cold wind chills. Sunday, mostly cloudy and a high of 26. We're at 21 right now in Milwaukee.
A big to-do in Washington, D.C. today, other than the House Speaker stuff.
Happening today.
Yeah. Big security briefing going to take place in D.C. So D.C. PD, Capitol Police, the Secret Service, the FBI, they're going to hold a joint news briefing about security measures for all the big events that are planned in the coming days and weeks. So more on that in a minute. But first, going to the Big Easy. Yeah, they're back at it. 36 hours after a mass murderer killed 14 people on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. The French Quarter returning to life now. They are back and enjoying themselves.
In the day after the terror attack, law enforcers from various agencies nearly outnumber the tourists in the French Quarter, and Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry observed,
"Right now, this is one of the safest places on earth."
Thursday night, the public took him at his word, and the nightly street party that is the French Quarter resumed.
ABC's Jim Ryan there. He is in New Orleans right now. Now, investigators trying still to figure out how a U.S.-born Army veteran became an ISIS sympathizer. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest on him.
Authorities say less than 2 hours before the rampage, Jabbar posted videos to Facebook where he openly discussed killing members of his own family. Just after 2 a.m. New Year's morning, the suspect was seen less than a block from Bourbon Street. 2 coolers packed with explosives. Authorities say he had a remote detonator to set them off. Just over an hour later, he takes a sharp right turn onto the sidewalk, beginning his attack.
Now, on Thursday, we told you about how they were considering that he may have been working with others. They no longer believe that. They had found some of these coolers in different areas that would have suggested that maybe he had help, that he had accomplices, but now they're saying that that does not look like that's the case.
And anything more on his potential connections to actual ISIS, or was he just inspired by things that he read and saw?
Shamsud Din Jabbar's home has now been investigated. They found bomb-making materials there, but to your point, no, they do not know yet.
More than 1,000 federal, state, and local law enforcement officials going full tilt the last 24 hours. Thus far, not finding any other co-conspirators. but still trying to determine if Shamsuddin Jabbar was radicalized to become an ISIS sympathizer online on his own, or whether he was recruited and handled by an ISIS member directly.
That's ABC's Pierre Thomas there. They haven't really figured that out yet. They're still looking into that. There is a mosque near where he lives, but reporters from CBS were there. They say the people at that mosque told the reporters, no, never seen him here. In fact,
Don't know the guy.
They even invited him once, and he said, no, I pray at home or something like that. So there wasn't anything there. You're going to appreciate this. A brother now speaking, saying, did not see this coming, that he had changed a little bit, small changes, but overall was the same guy.
He grew out his beard, and he became more modest in his dressing. Nobody's seen anything like this coming.
That's Abdul Rahim Jabbar, who spoke with CBS, so did not see that coming. He said he just broke down when he heard the news that his brother was involved in this. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, what's the deal with this case? Matt Livelsberger, a 37-year-old service member, rented a Cybertruck and blew it up outside the Trump Hotel. Why? ABC's Mulo Lengi says he's a decorated active duty member of the U.S. military.
He was a master sergeant in the Green Berets. Authorities say that he was on approved leave from his current active duty posting at his base in Germany at the time of the deadly incident. Now, sources also say that Livelsberger's wife told authorities during the course of this investigation that he had been out of the house in Colorado Springs since Christmas following a dispute over infidelity. But authorities are still coming through his military records, through his home, to try to get a better understanding of who he was.
Yeah, and as to why he would do this, he took his own life right before the explosion occurred in that Cybertruck.
So common thread here, at least deep personal issues with both of these people that could help explain not all of it, but at least part of it.
Now, one of the things the FBI did say, it's not lost on them that he was driving a Cybertruck. Obviously, Tesla owned by Elon Musk, who certainly has become a political figure, and there was this happened before the Trump Tower. So they say that they get the optics on that, and they're looking into that. So it's not lost on them that maybe there was some type of message being made. Anyway, going back to Washington now. So we have President Jimmy Carter's state funeral coming up. We have Congress's certification of the Electoral College votes on Monday. Of course, we have the inauguration. So lots going on. Plus, in Atlanta, there's a lot of security there because of Jimmy Carter.
We already know that certain roads around the Carter Center will be blocked off due to the posture and presence that we will see just given the amount of public and everyone that will be here.
That's CBS's Skylar Henry. So, yeah, Saturday, motorcade's going to travel through Carter's hometown. He's going to lie in repose at the Carter Center in Atlanta. Of course, he'll be in Washington. His remains will be next week. So a lot of attention right now with a lot of people expected in some of these areas, some high figure, VIP type figures. And so the security measures are going to be outlaid in detail today a bit.
And then after we get through all of that, you have the inauguration coming up on January 20th. News about your money this morning, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average, on quite a losing streak here, fell another 152 points to 42,392. The NASDAQ down 30 to 19,281. S&P 500 finished the day at 5869. That was off 13 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed.
I mean anywhere in the world.
Precisely.
You'd spend the entire month in bed?
Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hasselus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
60 months. That means...
You can buy a Queen Tempur-Pedic ProAdapt Hybrid with ease adjustable base for just $74 a month.
And I get a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Free next-day delivery and employee-free showrooms, too.
So I can try and buy...
With no pushy sales guy.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hasselus Mattress.
Enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedics through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi,
It's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Just ahead of 6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, January 3rd, our top story. Charges against multiple Milwaukee County Jail employees.
I'm Erik Bilstad, a jail assault in Racine.
I'm Debbie Lazigo. We're looking good out on the roads. Light volume, full freeway speeds across the whole system. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
High of 24 degrees today with some morning flurries, otherwise mostly sunny and a bit on the breezy side. Tonight's low down to 10 with wind chills at or even below 0. Saturday mostly sunny and breezy with a high of 22. Again, wind chills right around the 0 mark. Right now 21 degrees in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. The families of the victims of the New Orleans attack are discussing the hard lessons they've learned.
Life is so fragile and so short, and it can be taken at any given moment, and you really need to love those around you.
That's Jack Beck talking about his brother Tiger Beck, one of 14 people killed in the truck attack. And authorities say the attacker was inspired by ISIS. ABC News has obtained a bulletin sent by the FBI urging law enforcement to remain vigilant in case of copycat attacks. The Surgeon General wants warning labels added to alcohol, warning of the increased risk of cancer from alcohol consumption. It's similar to the labels on cigarettes. President Biden decided to block the nearly $15 billion sale of U.S. steel to Japan's Nippon Steel. An announcement's expected today. And the new Congress convenes today. The first order of business is voting for Speaker. Mike Johnson wants to keep the job, but ABC has counted 17 Republicans who are non-committal. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 2 former Milwaukee County correctional officers accused of abusing inmates now face criminal charges. Prosecutors say Rafael Gomez and Marcus Reeder punched inmates and used pepper spray. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says it's working with the District Attorney's Office. Both men are scheduled to appear in court later this month.
An inmate is suffering from life-threatening injuries after being assaulted at the Racine County Jail. Man was attacked by another inmate Tuesday afternoon. It happened in the day room, lasted less than a minute. Sheriff's office there says the emergency buttons at every cell were functional, but were not activated by any of the inmates who witnessed the assault.
Man who drove his car into a Verizon store back in 2023, now convicted.
Fond du Lac District Attorney's Office says 21-year-old Benjamin Iyer was under the influence of marijuana when he lost control of his car on Rolling Meadows Drive and crashed straight into the building. Iyer also admitted to huffing an air duster in a Culver's parking lot before the crash. 6 people were injured, including one woman who was pinned under the car and suffered multiple fractures. Iyer pled no contest to 8 felonies, including 4 counts of second-degree recklessly endangering safety. He could face a maximum of 27 years in prison. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The future of what internet providers will offer and block is now up in the air. Marquette University Associate Professor Dr. Erik tells WTMJ that the federal repeal of net neutrality poses risks to consumers and gives more power to internet providers.
It could be really nefarious, like blocking access to certain political websites. They would have the authority to do that if they're an information service. Or it could just be commercial exploitation. For example, taking payments from big companies like ESPN or Netflix to deliver their content faster than everybody else's content.
Uglin is suggesting that consumers take a look at their internet agreements to see if there are any limitations to their broadband access.
Did you kind of feel like we had a mild winter last time around?
Yes.
So,
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
anecdotally, people say that. Well, you were right if that's what you thought. Wisconsin State Climatology Office reports the period between December of 2023 and February of 24 set a new record with an average daily high temperature of just over 28 degrees. It's the highest total since records began in 1895. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel also reporting across Wisconsin, temperatures have warmed about 3 degrees. Rainfall increasing about 5 inches, 17% since 1950.
Coming up, do you test the monologue before you give it? Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Through January 15th, buy a $100 gift card from the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant. Get a $20 gift card free. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With colder weather in the forecast and no festivals to attend, our showroom is a year-round festival the whole family will enjoy. Read our reviews. Our store has it all, including the finest lighting and ceiling fans available, such as Visual Comfort, Hubbardton, Tech, and hundreds more at unbeatable prices. I guarantee it. If it's repairs or lampshades you need, we have all that too. There's also unique sports and historical items, neon lights, slot machines, and much more for sale. You'll find fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
So, Green Bay Packers have something at stake when they play on Sunday. Don't count on this player taking the week off. We'll have sports at 6:45.
Well, it's award season now. It's officially starting.
Hooray for Hollywood.
What do we got? Sunday, yes?
Yeah, so the Golden Globes are Sunday. This is usually the first one. This is a good barometer for what you can expect for the award season, right? So lots of movies are going to be up for different things, some that you have heard of, others that you have not. The host is comedian Nikki Glaser. And you may not know the name or recognize her. She kind of rose to fame after she roasted Tom Brady on that Netflix special last year. She was really good.
Okay.
And I found this very interesting. She was on E.T. in an exclusive interview, and she talked about how she's been practicing her monologue at different various clubs.
I have done this monologue around town and at clubs all over the country 93 times. It will have been said in different versions of it, different drafts before the one I do on Sunday. So the one on Sunday will be the best version, and the jokes are incredible. I think the tone is perfect. I'm really excited about who I'm skewering, like how I'm doing it.
All right.
Nice.
So I guess if you've ever seen her live, then maybe you'd recognize some of the stuff. I guess that's kind of normal. I just was surprised when she said she had done the monologue 90 times.
I don't know that I've heard of comics like bit testing the monologue in clubs and things like that, right?
For something of this stature?
Right? I suppose because very often they're already established comics.
Right.
Like people, more household names. So I'm anxious to see her. I think that's interesting what she says, though. So is she going to go off a teleprompter?
Well, I don't know.
Or is she, it's one thing.
That's a good question.
You're not doing prompter when you're out at a small club. You're bing, bing, bing.
Usually they don't, but that's a good question.
Monologue?
I don't know. Well, the Globes are Sunday night on CBS.
Hey, this blockbuster is up for 4 Golden Globes. Coming up at 7:20, why it may not be about what you think it's about. So we've got an expert joining us at 7:20.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring great tips on how to operate your home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad for Tri-County Contracting. It's now officially 2025, and you start looking at your home projects for the year. What are you going to budget for? What are you going to take place? And is it time now to replace that roof? Well, it might be. And there's a real quick way to find out whether or not you can move forward on something like that. You go to Tri-County Contracting. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com is the website. Locally owned and operated, which is a unicorn these days. You can go on their website and you can get yourself an instant roof quote. Just click on the instant roof quote button, put in your address, your name, and they'll tell you what the quote is going to be for your roof if you need one. It just helps you process and go through this whole situation. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield is excited to welcome Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com. Debbie?
All right, really nothing going on right now. We got full freeway speeds across the whole area. Just a couple broken down vehicles here and there scattered about, but they're out of traffic, not really affecting your ride pretty much anywhere. So we're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a few morning flurries, otherwise becoming mostly sunny and breezy. High temperatures in the mid-20s. Northwest winds could gust as high as 30 miles per hour. It's mainly clear and breezy tonight, low around 10. Sunshine, breezy conditions back for Saturday, highs in the low 20s. Mostly cloudy for Sunday with a high of 26. We may see a few lakefront snow showers early on Monday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high of 28. And we'll hold on to the cloud cover for Tuesday with highs in the mid-20s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 21 degrees. 6:42 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Friday morning. What happened to the drone story? That fizzled out in a hurry, didn't it? Like we said, didn't we say?
We thought it might
just kind of go away.
I do kind of have an update.
Do you?
Yes, on the drones over New Jersey. All right. NJ.com, the big digital news provider in New Jersey. So they have new details on this. So the FAA is adding new temporary flight restrictions preventing drones from flying over parts of other towns. So this was an issue back in the day.
That's why it went away.
Yeah. Well, so they've had dozens of these flight restrictions. Now they've added 4 more. So these new areas are in addition to sections of dozens of New Jersey municipalities where the FAA has restricted drone flights earlier this month as they continue to deal with some statewide reports. Now the question would be, well, why? Why are you adding new ones? My guess is it's because they just get more reports of this stuff. So like, okay, let's just settle this down. But as of now, it is unclear why new restrictions were deemed necessary. You'll love this because this is something, a little insider baseball here. This is what agencies do all the time. I'm going to read this verbatim from NJ.com. The FAA referred questions to the Federal Department of Homeland Security, which referred those questions back to the FAA.
Yeah, you're going to Ask these guys about that.
That happens here locally all the time because no one wants to say anything, so they just kind of pass the buck.
The sheriff's office said the police department is investigating.
So as of now, nothing new on it. I mean, at one point they were dealing with 5,000 reports. Only 2% of those merited actual interest from the FBI and the other feds. But they've added more restrictions, but they have not said why that's the case. And that is our drone update for now.
Save big money at Menards, where there's no ceiling to savings. Update your space with new ceiling tiles. Menards carries stylish and durable ceiling tile options. Armstrong ceiling tiles offer a variety of styles that are easy to install. Get the Brighton 2x2 ceiling tile for only $379 each. Plus, get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
See, you get it? It's the buzz.
The
drones make a buzz. If you didn't.
You're right.
Helping you out here.
Yeah.
Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Shoveling and snow blowing season. Once again, slip and fall season as well. If you or your loved ones, you hear that dreaded pop when you're out there sliding on the ice, or you overdo it lifting wet, heavy snow, and your back is just not coming back, right? You make an appointment to see the experts in orthopedic care anytime online at orthowisconsin.com. But if you need help now, and maybe it's the weekend, you have to waste time and money at the ER, or you go to urgent care. What do they do at urgent care? Yeah, we can't do anything for you. You have to go over here, all right? Don't do the runaround. It's your body. It's your health. Don't mess around. Get right to the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. You can walk right in. Even fractures are not too big to handle because both in Pewaukee and Brookfield, both locations have x-rays available right there on site. Monday through Saturday in Pewaukee, Sunday through Friday in Brookfield. Walk right in or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Green Bay Packers are in the playoffs regardless of what happens on Sunday against the Bears. Packers do have an opportunity to grab the 6th seed, otherwise they're the 7. There's some conversation about whether some star players might sit this one out. Not Eric's guy, Xavier McKinney.
How many does he need? 3?
Needs 3 to hit your 10-pick prediction.
Well, he is going up against a rookie, so maybe he can get one.
The Bears.
And it is
no
the Bears.
Plans for resting up for the postseason.
I think getting this win, regardless of what it does for us in the future, obviously we know in the playoffs, but it's a rival game, it's a division game, and I want to be able to be out there for my teammates. So there was no question about me not wanting to play. I wanted to play this game regardless. So.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur has suggested he will play the starters and try to win this game. We'll talk more Packers with Gabe Neitzel from ESPN coming up in just about 5 minutes. Bucks next play the Trailblazers at home this weekend. Went to the game last night, E.
Yeah. Rough one.
In addition to this being the longest NBA game I have ever attended, went almost 3 hours.
Wow.
Most of it was awful.
Another near turnover. Rollins does get it to Giannis. He corkscrews past his man and stuffs it down, serving up a facial against Claxton.
Okay, I mean, there was that. Giannis maybe still sparing in some minutes. He did not play the whole game. Now, guys always take a breather from time to time, but he sat out significant minutes as he's recovering from illness that's been sweeping through the Bucks locker room. Nice dunk there, but we were down 20 at that point to Brooklyn. The deficit was 24 at its height, but off the bench in the fourth quarter, Pat Connaughton providing a much-needed spark.
Connaughton pokes it away with a second to shoot. Connaughton blocks the shot. Lillard feeds it ahead to Connaughton. Pat stuffs it down, hanging on the rim on the other side. It's an 8-point game.
The Bucks would even bring it within a point. Giannis missed a hard contested layup. Down 3, desperation, last heave.
Gonna have to be a quick shot. Sends it to Lillard at midcourt. He's on his back foot, throws up the desperation heave, and it misses. Well, we've seen some wild ones through the years. That was about as wild as it gets to start the new year, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, the Bucks had dug themselves into too big of a hole to climb out of this one. Dave Kane on the call right here on WTMJ. I do want to play this for you since I was in attendance.
Okay.
Bucks coach Doc Rivers praised his team's grit, praised the contribution and spark from Connaughton, and also had some really kind words for me.
The crowd was great. We have a great crowd. I mean, they had every reason not to be here, and they hung in there. and it was great for us. I think our crowd is phenomenal.
Yeah, I thought about
nice.
not being there. It's the fourth. We're down double digits. Bucks fall to the Nets 113-110. 7 p.m. tip against Portland tomorrow night at Fiserv Forum.
College basketball, UW Milwaukee falls to Oakland 65-49. It's the first time the Panthers hadn't scored 50 points in more than 90 games. Wisconsin plays Iowa tonight at the Kohl Center. Badgers hockey, men, they fall to the Spartans 4-3. The women beat Ohio State 6-0, and these teams play again tomorrow. The men and the women at Wrigley Field in Chicago. That'll be cool. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding, Unlimited Siding, and a whole lot more.
So close you can smell the rubber on their shoes. Okay, maybe not that close, but as close as you can get. Bucks Insiders on Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
The long wait has ended. After a half century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
It's Bucks Insiders every Thursday at 12:35. Sponsored by Best Electric and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Vince Vitrano for Annex Wealth Management. It's a new year. So excited to announce that you'll be hearing from me about the investment and retirement plan services from Annex Wealth Management. Been meaning to do this for a long time. I've known Dave Spano and his team for years. Our 401k here is managed by Annex, and it's time for me to get some guidance. We got college savings planning. 3 kids will be in college at one point next year. So how to be more tax efficient and how to keep saving and investing for retirement while still balancing our immediate family needs. I like that Annex is a fee-only fiduciary, and 2025 is shaping up to be quite a year. This is the time to get ready for what's next. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. They will meet you where you're at. Visit AnnexWealth.com. You click on the Get Started button. Schedule your own appointment today. It's Annex Wealth Management with locations in Brookfield, Mequon, Lake Country, Appleton, downtown, inside the Pfister, Madison, Naples, Florida, Libertyville, Illinois, or you can just do the whole thing online via Zoom video conference.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Perfect day on the ice, huh, Pat? Ice auger, fishing rod, portable generator, and that genius pizza oven. Pepperoni's ready.
For frozen lakes, toasty crusts, and everything in between, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Like Blaine's Gourmet Blend Indoor Cat Food, $14.99. Plus, rewards members get free same-day delivery on pet orders of $49 or more. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
At 6:51, update on the roads here, Debbie.
Okay, looking pretty good right now. We've got light volume, full freeway speeds. Things are just starting to wake up a bit, but I'm not seeing really any kind of problems. So you're good to go to get to work this morning. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Might have a few flurries this morning, otherwise mostly sunny and a high of 24. Tonight gets pretty cold. Low down to 10, wind chills dipping below 0. Mostly sunny and breezy. Those wind chills could still be below 0 tomorrow with a high of just 22 degrees and Sunday's high 26. Under mostly cloudy skies. Right now 20 in Milwaukee. At 6:52 on Wisconsin's Morning News, bringing our friend from ESPN Milwaukee, Gabe Neitzel. Should we spend the segment, Gabe, talking about my golf clubs again?
Yeah, I mean, if you want. I mean, I am more. Yeah, not only do I do Jen, Gabe, and Chewy golf season on the team, me and Steven Watson, PGA Tour Live's Steven Watson, I might add. So congratulations to my guy Steven on that.
I'm driving everybody here at the office nuts, including Gabe, because Gabe knows a lot about golf and golf equipment. I got new golf clubs. I got new irons. And I hit them once, and they weren't perfect, and so now I'm losing my mind. Because I spent a lot of money.
I mean, that's so out of character for Vince, isn't it?
I know.
So out of character.
Gabe,
I mean, I've never seen
I'm
this.
a little bit worried about this. And then, what happens if it does this? And should I return them? Did I get the wrong clubs? Hey, when did you hit them? You hit them one time? After having not hit a golf ball for a month and a half?
Yeah, let's give it another try.
Okay,
maybe.
should we give it another?
I think we should give it another try. At least one more range session.
Eric has an interesting question before we get to the Packers about what our rooting interests ought to be Sunday night. That's the blockbuster.
Sunday night's going to be a monster of a game. A dandy in Detroit, if you will. You got the Lions and the Vikings playing for the top seed in the NFC playoffs. So the 1 seed gets home field advantage and a bye. The loser goes to the 5th seed and then has to travel and all of that. So
yeah, they'll be on the road for their entire playoff run unless a wild card team below them happens to win, and they host an NFC Championship game. I don't know who, as a Packer fan, I'm rooting for in this situation. I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, the odds are right now the Packers are going to be the 7th seed. They've got a chance to potentially get out of that and be the 6th. But if they win their first round playoff game, they're more than likely going to be going to that number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And after what I saw in Minnesota, I don't know if I want to do that.
Right.
But also,
No interest in that.
I've seen the Lions' offense look really efficient. So I think we want the Lions to win just because they're more beat up defensively.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too.
I think. But I'm not sure because, I mean, both those teams are really good, and you have to play a pretty pretty close to perfect game if you want to win, should the Packers make it that far. So I think we want the Lions to win. Because also, let's face it. I mean, first of all, I can never root for the Bears to win, right?
Okay.
And secondly, the Vikings are a pretty close second.
I dislike them more.
Yeah, I
than
don't.
The Lions.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. I dislike them more, so it's not like I can go. Yeah, let's have Minnesota win this game. The Lions have been they've been pestery the last couple of years, but for the majority of my football viewing life, the Lions have been relatively harmless. So I think I'm rooting for the Lions. I think that's the answer. That's final answer. That's what I'm sticking with. That's what I'm sticking with.
Go Lions on Sunday night. So that's the Sunday nighter. Everything else will be decided prior to that point, including the Packers, who will be playing at the same time as the Washington Commanders. Both of those are noon starts. So there, you're rooting for a Washington loss and a Packers win against the Bears.
Because that would get them that 6th seed in a much easier route. Because as the 7th seed, you would have to travel to Philadelphia and play the Eagles, a team that's just on fire right now. Playing really good. They're healthy. Saquon Barkley's playing spectacular. Yeah, their quarterback is beat up. Jalen Hurts going through the concussion protocol. And maybe there's a little bit of rust because he's going to miss a couple of weeks heading into that game in the wild card round. But that's going to be a tough place to play. I would much rather go to a place like Los Angeles, where the Packers basically packed up SoFi Stadium with Packer fans when they played there during the regular season earlier this year. That's the matchup I would much rather have. The Packers are kind of doing this half in, half out type of thing where if you're beat up, okay, we're probably going to rest you. Josh Jacobs isn't beat up, but he said he's not expecting to get a lot of carries in the game, but he is still expecting to play. Same thing with Jordan Love. So, I mean, first things first, Packers do have to take care of business, and then we're rooting for our old guy, Mike McCarthy, to get the job done against the Washington Commanders.
If they were to lose to Chicago at Lambeau Field, that is a catastrophic failure. It would be very hard to lose that game. Chicago is a shadow of itself right now.
They've checked out. They checked out a while ago. One of their wide receivers, Jay Moore, was talking about vacation weeks ago. So yeah, I'm expecting this. We were talking about this game earlier this week on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. My senior year of high school, I went up in 2003 to Lambeau Field. The Packers played the Broncos. And the game meant everything to the Packers, right? The Broncos had wrapped up all their playoff stuff, so they played all their backups, and the Packers absolutely blew them out. And then the other thing the Packers needed to happen was the Nathan Poole Cardinals-Vikings thing when they got knocked out of the playoffs, which was crazy. But I'm expecting this game to be very similar where the Packers, maybe they go through the motions, but that's really all you need against the Bears right now. The Bears are just a lost team.
Well, I sure hope you're right. Right?
So I'm actually going to the game for the first time as a fan since 2010. I can't imagine the atmosphere at Lambeau if they lose this game.
Oh.
Well, then, you know what? Don't even pack your stuff then for next week. You lose to the Bears and limp into the playoffs in that way, don't even pack. Don't go.
I'm going to come in on Monday, and Homer's still going to be doing Green Bay game night because people are going to be calling all night, just ticked off the Packers loss.
That'd be worth a listen. 6:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Axis Communications out of Sweden plans its first Wisconsin office in downtown Milwaukee. The global technology company is expected to move in later this year at 833 East Michigan Street. Electric motorcycle company Livewire Group Incorporated intends to outsource numerous corporate services with Milwaukee-based Harley-Davidson in 2025. Some of those services include human resources, insurance, engineering, and accounting. The owners of Explorium Brew Pub acquire Milwaukee's Good City Brewing. The sale includes Good City's locations and brewing equipment, but not the brand, which Explorium will license as a transition moves ahead. Good City's warehouse at the Century City Business Park is not part of the deal. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works. Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Hey, WTMJ's John Burke here. If you're looking for a way to transform your garage, basement, patio, or commercial concrete floors, Spartan Coatings will get it done for you. They're doing the work in my garage. It was kind of scaly. It wasn't looking great. Now it's on the way to being fantastic. It is high-quality coatings, and it's stylish. It's Spartan Coatings. Let them take care of you. And right now, great special going on, $300 off your next project. $300 if you book today. The teams I trust are at Spartan. Strength meets style. That's Spartan Strong. It's Spartan Coatings.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, January 3rd, our top story. Heading back to Bourbon Street.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Memorials begin for a late U.S. president.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking great out on the roads right now. Volume is just starting to wake up a little bit, but nothing slowing you down on the freeway system. Everything looks great. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of just 24 degrees today with some morning flurries, otherwise mostly sunny. Tonight, wind chills could dip below zero with a low of 10. Right now, 20 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 36 hours after a mass murderer killed 14 people on Bourbon Street, the French Quarter came back to life Thursday. ABC's Jim Ryan in New Orleans.
In the day after the terror attack, law enforcers from various agencies nearly outnumber the tourists in the French Quarter, and Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry observed.
Right now, this is one of the safest places on earth.
Thursday night, the public took him at his word, and the nightly street party that is the French Quarter resumed.
Federal investigators are picking apart New Orleans attacker Shamsuddin Jabbar's life now and trying to figure out what would drive this American-born U.S. military vet to become an ISIS sympathizer. ABC's Pierre Thomas.
Progress is being made, and they believe that he worked alone in terms of executing the attack itself. But there's a critical question. How was he radicalized? Did he do this online solely on his own, or was there an ISIS recruiter or handler directing this from behind the scenes?
It turns out the barricades in the city of New Orleans were not working the night of that attack and needed to be replaced. Security measures that night did not obviously stop the driver.
Former Milwaukee police chief and current chief of the Fitchburg Police, Alfonso Morales, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the problem sometimes lies in the funding alone.
It costs
money.
But threats like these have not gone away.
Those are challenges. When I was a chief down there, I would often have to get involved in these meetings with elected officials and some private sector people who didn't want to pay the money for the security that was needed.
He believes the most important measure is not what happened, but what didn't happen. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
The driver of the Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas is now being identified as Matthew Livelsberger of Colorado Springs, a highly decorated master sergeant who is on approved leave. Now, investigators say he shot himself in the head before the explosion. He likely planned to cause more damage. The FBI's Spencer Evans says trying to figure out a motive.
It's not lost on us that it's in front of, of the Trump building, that it's a Tesla vehicle. But we don't have information at this point that definitively tells us or suggests it was because of this particular ideology or any of the reasoning behind it.
FBI also conducting an active investigation at a townhouse complex in the suspect's hometown.
Memorial services honoring Jimmy Carter begin this weekend. The former president and Nobel Prize recipient died Sunday at the age of 100. On Saturday, motorcade will travel through the former president's hometown of Plains, Georgia. He will lie in repose at the Carter Center in Atlanta. CBS News' Skylar Henry says security there, of course, will be high.
After speaking with a source within one of the local law enforcement agencies, they essentially said that because of the events surrounding not only New Year's Eve celebrations, but a college football playoff game here in downtown Atlanta, and in addition to a championship game that is set to be played here in a couple of weeks, there was already going to be a heightened security presence.
Next week, Tuesday, the former president will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol ahead of the state funeral at Washington National Cathedral. That will be on Thursday. Former President Carter will then be flown back to Georgia for burial.
Happening today, an announcement expected from President Biden that he will block a Japanese company from purchasing U.S. steel.
President Biden has spoken out forcefully on Japanese company Nippon Steel buying U.S. steel. This was in April.
American owned, American operated by American Union Steelworkers, the best in the world.
And today, a source familiar confirms he has officially decided to block the nearly $15 billion sale. An announcement is expected today. U.S. Steel argued the merger would boost the company and save jobs. The Steelworkers Union said it was bad for its members. President-elect Trump is also opposed to the merger. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, the world has lost an Osmond. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
America's Best installer of America's Best replacement windows does not have the word windows in their name. Their name is Siding. Siding Unlimited. Hey, the Sons took Dad's siding business and ran with it. Siding Unlimited, the family-owned Wisconsin company, keeps climbing to the top of Pella Windows of Pella, Iowa's awards. Siding Unlimited, one of only 5 Pella Premier installers in the whole country. But better than that, the top. For 4 of the past 5 years, Pella has honored Siding Unlimited as their National Certified Contractor of the Year. You want windows? Pay Wisconsin prices with this great local company, delivering National Championship award-winning service, great craftsmanship, clean up behind, and leave the job better than before and better than expected. You know, the company with Wisconsin family values, pride in integrity, pride in people, pride in Wisconsin. SidingUnlimited.com.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:08.
If you checked out with the Bucks down 24 last night, you missed a heck of a finish. We've got it in sports at 7:15.
A Milwaukee Brewery Group is now buying out a larger enterprise. Good City Brewing going to be absorbed by the Explorium Hospitality Group. Explorium owner Mike Doble tells Spending the State that the company plans to keep Good City's 90 employees.
We're working really hard to keep a bunch of people employed and take a really great brand like Good City. And, it's interesting because I have a lot of people talking to me and going, Mike, this is great and whatever. You're taking over Good City and, make it an Explorium. And I'm like, well, I don't want anybody to ever feel like there's any disrespect intended towards Good City because it's an amazing brand.
Doble says they're still making final decisions on the future plans for current Good City locations.
New Year will mark the 150th anniversary for the Milwaukee Fire Department, and Chief Aaron Lipsky tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the department is putting together a time capsule to represent how firefighters operate today.
We're putting that together right now. We're going to put some modern-day keepsakes,
that's fun.
Little novelty stuff from modern-day fire service. And we're going to invite the community to contribute small items. We can't put, your 10-speed bike in there or anything, but smaller items.
No, because I was going to donate my bike to the chief. I don't know what value that would have had anyway.
It could have been something.
I see his point. If you have any small items you would like to add to the fire department time capsule, you can contact the Milwaukee Fire Department.
And Wayne Osmond, the brother of Donnie and Marie, has passed away. News broke on the Osmonds' death on Thursday.
Coming up on 7:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that we're into the holiday season, it's time to celebrate with new lights and ceiling fans. And our huge award-winning showroom displays hundreds of the best quality lights and fans. There's not a brand we can't get, and our prices are the lowest, even lower than online. I guarantee it. And our knowledgeable staff is always here to assist you in making the right choices. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including antiques, collectibles, fun for the kids, and our famous free popcorn. We are open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
At 7:10, let's get an update on the roads. Debbie?
All right, still looking really good. No major incidents out there. We've just got a couple of broken down vehicles, and even those are out of traffic. So not really affecting your ride. So it's super quiet around the whole area. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. For today, a few morning flurries, otherwise becoming mostly sunny and breezy by this afternoon. Temperatures topping out in the mid-20s. Northwest winds could gust as high as 30 miles per hour. It is mainly clear and breezy tonight. Wind chills could be below zero in some spots as lows dip back into the single digits to near 10 degrees. It's mostly sunny and breezy for Saturday, high at 22. More clouds for Sunday with highs in the mid-20s. We may see a few lakefront snow showers early Monday, high at 28, mostly cloudy, and we'll hold on to the clouds for Tuesday with a high of 26. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 20 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
The following name has this in common with 64 other people today. The name is Tony Weed. He's from Wisconsin. You already know, so you can't play.
Okay.
You're out. Name's Tony Weed. Recognize it? Northeast Wisconsin specifically. He starts a new job later this morning. Tony Weed is the congressman-elect in the state's 8th congressional district, and along with 64 others, it'll be his first time on the job.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Happening today, Weed and all members of Congress due to be officially sworn in. The 119th Congress kicks off at 11 o'clock our time this morning. Now remember, they can't do much more than gavel in before the House chooses a speaker for the upcoming session. Until that job is done, no other business can proceed in the House. And Republicans have the slimmest of majorities going right now in that chamber. And Mike Johnson of Louisiana, he wants the job again.
If Republicans can't agree on Johnson to lead the House, then the chamber will effectively be at a standstill. Republicans will likely keep trying and go ballot to ballot until they come to a conclusion to reach that magic number of 218. 2 years ago, it took Kevin McCarthy 15 rounds and several concessions were made for him to get the gavel, for him to then lose his job several months later.
It's Lauren Peller from ABC News. Indeed. And here's the thing, though. No other names have really surfaced as challengers or even alternatives to Johnson if they don't go ahead and make him speaker.
But you do know of at least one Republican who's going to vote against him.
Right. So that basically makes the margin of one. You lose one more Republican vote, and this thing gets thrown into chaos. For his part, Johnson has been meeting with the caucus Thursday on Capitol Hill.
Meetings are going great.
All right, there you go.
Going great, huh?
Meetings are going great.
Great,
Good.
right.
No, it's great.
It's going to breeze through.
If there is any indication at all this time that, he may not be the votes, he may not have the votes, that the pregame hype, if it's simply that, Republicans perhaps will fall in line as you have congressional disruptor and one of the people who led the effort to oust the previous speaker, Kevin McCarthy, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. She's talking unity.
It's time to come together as Republicans, and it's time to do whatever it takes to make sure that we deliver the mandate that the American people told us to do.
Also in Congressman Johnson's corner, the endorsement of President-elect Trump, who is due to be sworn in later this month. But for Weed of Green Bay, Wisconsin's congressional delegation, otherwise unchanged.
So Weed gets the office a couple of blocks away in the side annex building.
Yeah, not one of the buildings that nobody wants to be in.
It's like a trailer.
The annex, yeah, I think that's well said. So, yes, it'll be his first day on the job. But again, as I said, everybody else in Wisconsin's congressional delegation been there before. Gavel drops at 11 o'clock our time. Sports is coming up next. It's sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the New Year's sale is on. Hey, is there a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC in your future? Connect with Holiday and find one that's right for you. Stack it with their low, simplified price, get more for your trade, then pair it all up with the season's best offers. Ready to take the roads this winter with confidence. Another great option, check out a GM-certified pre-owned model. Enjoy the peace of mind benefits like 2 factory-backed warranties, scheduled maintenance, courtesy transportation, and roadside assistance all included. Driving a GM-certified vehicle from Holiday is a no-brainer. I know you'll appreciate Team Holiday's welcoming, friendly, and genuine guest care. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over. Fans like me and thousands of others who drive Holiday, Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
3 Green Bay Packers named to the NFL Pro Bowl. Defensive lineman Rashawn Gary, running back Josh Jacobs, safety Xavier McKinney. McKinney named a starter, even though there's not really much of a game anymore. Does that mean he starts in that flag football game they do? Or?
Maybe.
I don't know. This is now more than ever more about the honor of being selected.
Sure, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Fast, early, and often. We need to execute on every opportunity.
Packers tight end Tucker Kraft talking about what the Packers need to do to finish strong and beat the Bears on Sunday.
I want to see juice. I want to see us out there right away. Getting the ball to our back, letting him just be him, and then get some flavor going in the next couple drives and just execute. We're not asking for perfection, but just each guy to do their job one play at a time.
Now, a few demerits there for dropping a one play at a time cliche at the back end. However, I do like Kraft finding some other ways to describe how you get a win in the NFL 18 weeks in.
Define flavor.
Yeah, we got to have some flavor. Got to have some juice.
Okay.
Right? I'll give him that. It's a noon kick in Green Bay on Sunday and then the playoffs. Went to the Bucs game last night.
Yeah, that was fun for the last 3 minutes of the game.
Right? I don't go to a ton of Bucs games, a lot of, because the weeknights are hard anyway. This thing was almost a 3-hour marathon, and most of it was unwatchable. The Bucs were down 24 points at one point. but then brought it nearly all the way back and had a chance to win. Final seconds of the game, the Bucks were only down 1, and Giannis has it at the top of the key.
He wants this ball. He wants a chance to win it. He's going downhill, down the lane, lays it up. That one missed. Oh, my. Rebounded underneath by Thomas, and he was fouled.
Dave Kane on the call right here on WTMJ. The finger roll sort of rimmed out. It was very contested, so it's not like he missed something open. But that was pretty much that.
In back-to-back games, the Milwaukee Bucks charged back from major deficits to put themselves in a position to win. Coach Doc Rivers thinks the Bucks can learn from their resilience.
Taking the final result out of it, what can you take away from that fourth quarter push and apply to future scenarios?
Ooh, boy, that's a hell of a question. You know, you're never out of a game. Dame got a wide-open three. Giannis had a dunk and a layup. Most of the time, you're going to make 2 or 3 of those. I wouldn't have felt any different if we had won the game. I thought we were going to win the game once we got it down. I wouldn't have felt any better about it.
At Fiserv Forum, Dylan Hunter-Carter, WTMJ Sports.
Yeah, so if you didn't gather, we did not win that game.
Nope.
Bucks fall to the Nets 113-110. Got the Trailblazers at Fiserv Forum tomorrow night, 7 p.m. tip.
College basketball, UW-Milwaukee riding a 5-game winning streak. Looking forward to a big game against Oakland, the Horizon League champions from last year, but it was not to be. Panthers lose. In fact, they didn't score 50 points for the first time in 90 games. They fall to Oakland 65-49. Up next, Detroit Mercy on Saturday. Wisconsin plays Iowa tonight at the Kohl Center. Badgers hockey, the men fall to the Spartans 4-3. Women beat Ohio State 6-0, and these teams will all play again tomorrow at Wrigley Field outside in Chicago, so that'll be neat. Badgers sports updates, by the way, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more.
Coming up, it's up for 4 Golden Globe Awards this weekend. It's a huge blockbuster, and it may not be about what you think it's about. That story next.
Winter's here and here to stay, so it's time to stock up on cold weather essentials at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Stay toasty with unbeatable prices on insulated boots, outerwear, thermal layers, wool socks, and a great range of home and garage heaters. Keep animals comfortable with heated equipment, de-icers, and livestock bedding. Plus, stay safe on the go with trusted brands of tires and batteries, portable jump starters, ice scrapers, antifreeze, and more. Trust the cold weather experts and find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Another 5-star review for the Bugman and Queen Bee. Vince Vitrano here. They're my choice for pest defense, local, family, veteran-owned and operated. Terry wrote in. He's one of the customers. Been using the Bugman for the past 3 months to eliminate a mouse problem. We are very pleased with the results. Matt, that's the Bugman's brother. He works there too. And Pete are thorough, professional, and friendly. In the office, Julie is a master of scheduling. We appreciate her flexibility. I like Julie too. When you call over there, she's like, all right, what do you got? What are you dealing with at your home or your business? You want that kind of service? You go local, family owned. The best in local pest defense. It's 262-633-3411. BugmanQueenBee.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Experience Wisconsin. You know the show. It's a lot of fun. It's Saturdays. It's Saturday afternoon, and we spin you around the state, introducing you to some of the cool people, some of the cool places, some of the stuff you can spend your time doing, whether you're looking for a weekend idea, a week-long idea, or maybe you just have a couple of hours free on a Saturday or a Sunday. This week's show is going to be fantastic. One of my favorite places is south of the city. It's Lake Geneva. We will be joined on Experience Wisconsin by Stephanie Klett, the lady in charge of Visit Lake Geneva. It's Experience Wisconsin on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
Oh, my God.
The Soties.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach.
No Corona! All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
At 7:21. Good morning, Debbie.
Yeah, good morning. Everything is looking good right now. We're not seeing really any delays around the area. No incidents either. So happy Friday morning, because this is what normal Friday mornings look like. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Campaigning. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Going to get cool and then really cold today. Sunny, breezy, high of 24. Tonight, wind chills of below 0, 5 below tonight, clear sky. Saturday, sunny, breezy, a high of 22, but wind chills still dipping below 0 to 5 below. Sunday, cloudy, a high of 26, highs in the mid-20s Monday and Tuesday. Right now, it's 7:22. It's 17 with a wind chill of 1.
And with an assist from me to be who you'll be, instead of dreary who you were, well, are. There's nothing that can stop you from becoming popular. Lar.
Music from the original Broadway hit musical, Wicked, the film version of which is up for 4 Golden Globes this weekend. Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, Best Picture of the Year, Cinematic and Box Office Achievements. Globes are Sunday, yes?
Sunday night,
CBS.
CBS.
Okay, the film, of course, is getting rave reviews.
I don't think anybody listening to this in Milwaukee is going to remember who John Fricke is or was, but John Marshall High, class of 69, 65th Street School.
Okay, a lot more than that. That's John Fricke. And it's his review that I was so anxious to share with you. I've been sitting on this for a minute, waiting for the Globes here so we could talk about it. You heard John say he's from Milwaukee. Lifelong family friend of ours. His father and my grandfather worked together at Falk for 1,000 years. Okay, so I've known John my whole life. He is the world's foremost expert on The Wizard of Oz, the original, the film, the book. He is an Emmy Award-winning writer and producer, author of the official 50th anniversary pictorial history of the 1939 film.
Okay.
He knew and wrote books on Judy Garland, and he's been a real popular guy lately.
85 years since the Judy Garland movie came out, and Wicked in its 21st year on Broadway, and now breaking box office records all over the place as a film, and it's just very exciting that Oz just keeps regenerating itself.
So I caught up with John when we were in New York City in December, and we're actually chatting just outside of Junior's Deli, which, if you know it, is in the Broadway district. So we're right there where Wicked is still playing, by the way, in New York, right? And this much I did know about John's relationship to the story as portrayed in Wicked.
You were slow to appreciate Wicked, were you not? Absolutely. Gregory Maguire, who wrote the 4-book Wicked series. I mean, his book Wicked is very original. It is very much Oz upside down, if you will. It is very, very adult. It is violent. It is political. It is sexual. It is war. It is all these things that, to me, have nothing to do with Oz. The real Oz is the Frank Baum book series and the MGM movie.
Now, some of those things that he mentioned in the book are not a part of the musical now being the movie as well.
Of course, right? Yeah.
Right. So some of the intrigue that Fricke talked about is not part of the story that most of us are more familiar with, unless you've gone back and read those books. Nonetheless, Fricke, while coming to appreciate now Wicked in its own right, and in particular the musical, absolutely rejects that there is, for example, any good in the Wicked Witch of the West, or any evil in the Good Witch of the North, or a host of other leaps that Wicked makes.
Don't let her get away, this wicked witch.
So all that said, when the musical did debut on Broadway in 2003, it became a smash hit, and Fricke finally gave in and went to see it.
I went to a Saturday matinee. I was sitting in the back of the orchestra, and the place was jammed. And the house lights went to half to signify the show is about to begin. And 2,600 people started to scream in joyous anticipation. And I thought, well, there's got to be something to this if they're that excited. And I've seen the Broadway show now 6 times.
Oh, okay.
6 times, right? So that's the musical. But how about the film? Fricke is still very plugged into Oz circles. He gets invited to conventions when they have Oz remembrances and events. Like, he's the expert. He's a historian. They bring him out to give speeches and talk and to meet with people. He says Hollywood often really struggles to bring musicals to the silver screen.
Very true.
But everyone he's talked to in these Oz circles appears to believe they've gotten it right this time.
The enthusiasm, the anticipation has all been fulfilled. I mean, they are all just thrilled to death that it has come out the way it has. And they've been going back 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. And even the people who were doubtful, have come away exulting.
I've seen it once. I would pay to go see it in the theater again.
Yeah, it's that good,
Maybe a third time.
Really?
And it's long. And there was not a moment. My daughter's studying music theater, right? She's in New York, and we waited so that we could see it with her together. And she's a contrarian, right?
Sure,
as
okay.
many teens are, right?
How do you mean?
Even she walked out of the film and said, I can't think of anything I want to complain about.
Wow,
and she was poised to be ready to complain about an assortment of things. So I think the film is amazing, but I do think that take from an Oz fan and historian is interesting.
And there's no canon, obviously. There's no connection or any deep...
Correct.
Okay.
So John Fricke there, Milwaukee native, Oz historian and expert, and fan of Wicked, the musical and the movie. Just don't tell him it's the story of the Wizard of Oz.
I will go to my dying gasp, last breath of Over the Rainbow saying, no, Wicked is not the real Oz.
It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow closed at 42,392. The NASDAQ at 19,281. And the S&P 500 fell 13 points to 5869. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
WTMJ's John Merck here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. And right now they're offering a curriculum-based class similar to a day program to the public for those with early to mid memory loss. It's a great time to think about this during the holiday season. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Locations throughout Wisconsin, right here in the Milwaukee area, AzuraLiving.com.
By now, you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
7:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, January 3rd, our top story, charges against Milwaukee County Jail employees.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A murder suspect in Juneau County remains at large.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Still looking great out on the roads. No incidents to report. Volume is super light, and you're moving along at a good clip. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
I have 24 degrees today.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. President Biden said the risk to national security and the critical supply chain is why he's blocking Nippon Steel's proposed purchase of U.S. Steel. ABC's Mary Bruce has more from the White House.
U.S. Steel, of course, the iconic Pennsylvania-based company, had argued the merger would provide critical funding to keep plants open and preserve thousands of jobs, but the union resisted the deal, saying it was bad for their workers. Now, President-elect Trump had also opposed the takeover.
The president-elect supports House Speaker Mike Johnson ahead of today's vote for Speaker. Johnson tells ABC he's confident he'll win on the first ballot, but ABC News has counted at least 17 Republicans not committing to supporting Johnson. The Surgeon General has released a report calling for stronger warning labels on alcohol to highlight the link between alcohol consumption and cancer. Bourbon Street's reopened for business, but the warnings have gone out from the FBI about potential for copycat vehicle attacks like the one on New Year's Day. This is ABC.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 2 former Milwaukee County correctional officers accused of abusing inmates now face criminal charges. Prosecutors say Rafael Gomez and Marcus Reeder punched inmates and used pepper spray. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says it's working with the District Attorney's Office to provide evidence. Both men scheduled to appear in court later this month.
An inmate suffering from life-threatening injuries after an assault in Racine County at the Racine County Jail. The man attacked by another inmate in the jail's day room on a Tuesday afternoon. Didn't last very long, but enough to put him in the hospital now. The Sheriff's office there says the emergency buttons in every cell were functional, but none of them were activated by any of the other inmates who witnessed the fight.
They are still looking for a murderer in parts of Wisconsin. This is about the situation in New Lisbon, where we're learning more about the victims who were killed.
33-year-old Elizabeth Colbo was found dead at a home on West Bridge Street on Monday. New Lisbon police have not released the names of the two juvenile victims, but did reveal their ages are 12 and 13. Police are still searching for 47-year-old Virgil Thu, who is considered armed and dangerous. He has over a dozen previous felony convictions, including possessing a gun as a felon, burglary, and theft. Juneau County Sheriff's Office has shared a new photo of Thu shopping at New Lisbon Dollar General on Sunday. Find that image on our website at WTMJ.com. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Man who crashed a car into a Fond du Lac Verizon store last year is now pleading no contest to 8 felonies. Benjamin Iyer was under the influence of marijuana when he drove into that building, injuring 6 people. He also admitted to huffing an air duster before that crash.
Changes to your internet service could even take longer for websites to load, depending on your provider. Associate Professor of Digital Media at Marquette University, Dr. Erik Ugland, telling WTMJ consumers' internet rights are at stake over new federal ruling that repeals so-called net neutrality.
From the vantage point of consumers, this is it should be concerning because it basically empowers these huge companies that have already monopolistic influence in their domains to use that power to squeeze consumers even more.
Professor Ugland recommends looking over your internet agreements and comparing different providers to get the best deal.
Former Milwaukee Public School Superintendent has passed away. Robert Peterkin served in the position from 88 until 1991. His hire made him the first black superintendent of MPS appointed after a full-scale job search. He was 79 years old.
Coming up, these new food trends for 2025.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy and Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge Ram.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Shop the January New Year's sale on better quality furniture and mattresses at Ken Michaels Furniture.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
This Packers player says he has no plans to take a rest before the playoffs. That story in sports at 7:45.
All right, top food trends. What can we expect in 2025 when it comes to food? Well, there's going to be a rise in popularity for one specific cuisine.
An increase in popularity of Korean and Vietnamese cuisines are two of the top 5 food trends of this year, according to the National Restaurant Association. Kevin Tien is chef and owner of Moon Rabbit, a popular, critically acclaimed Vietnamese restaurant in downtown Washington, D.C. that serves innovative dishes like
quail that's stuffed with the duck sausage that has kind of like a Viet Cajun jambalaya with it.
He says the entire cuisine is shifting.
Young chefs like us are really combining a lot of our techniques and our heritage.
The top 5 also include sustainability and local sourcing, cold brew, and hot honey. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Now, I do think sometimes they just randomly are throwing a dart at some of this.
Just throwing words around, too. Viet Cajun?
Yeah.
First time I heard that term. I mean, I've heard Asian fusion.
Sure.
Where you're taking traditional Asian dishes and kind of adding other flavors or westernizing them a little bit.
So I think and you've seen this a little bit, there has been a peak in interest in some of that over the years. So they expect that to really pop this year, the Southeast Asian cuisines. And then sustainability and local sourcing, one of the other things they claim anyways, that there's been a bigger interest more recently than before about like where food is coming from, like where the groceries someone is buying, where it was grown and harvested from. So they believe there's more of that now this year.
You a fan of the small plate? You know, you go here, we have a table of 6 of us go out to dinner, right? And we order, well, it's good. 3 orders,
tapas,
right? Yeah, and then
we
we all try a little here and try a little there.
The only problem is I feel guilty, when you take a lot from the plate and you feel like... But no, I don't mind it.
I find it disconcerting.
What do you do at home during a normal dinner?
Well, we have the dish, so it's,
But you don't have
whatever.
multiple sides or anything?
Sure you do, but like there's still a main course. Like this is the dinner. Like for me, when we do the small plates, it's just so disjointed. It's like, well, are we going to be getting more of this or what? Like I want to make sure I'm fed. When's my dinner come?
Yeah, but you can order another dish.
Well, yes, but are we going to, or is it just me that wants to order? Are you also?
Why don't you ask the table? Hey,
well, yes, but then
it's
a big old process. When's my plate of food coming? I like Appies. Like I'll mess with Appies all night, but I still want to know my plate of food is coming.
All right,
it's tough.
I will not offer a tapas place to you to go to.
If we go out, right?
We'll just go to Applebee's. It'll be fine.
7:39. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. Heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
It was bound to happen. Over your career, investments came along for the ride. The first 401k, brokerage account, profit sharing, employee stock options, pension, another 401k, an insurance policy, an annuity, another 401k. You get the picture. Years went by, the collection grew. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. After all, we've seen, reviewed, dissected, discussed, and analyzed thousands of them. Some portfolios are like well-tended gardens and reflect diligence, patience, fortitude, and optimism. Others tell the story being sold commission products that might not have been the best choice, maybe for the salesperson, but not for the investor. When the financial planning team at Annex reviews your portfolio, we spot what works and what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions based on what's important. The retirement you desire. That's where the good stuff happens. That's our story. Every portfolio tells the story. Let's work on yours. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button. That's AnnexWealth.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring great tips on how to operate your home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at AnnexWealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
At 7:40, let's get an update on your morning traffic. Hey, Debbie.
Hey there. All right. Still looking pretty good across the entire system. I'm really not seeing anything major slowing us down. Maybe a quick brake check right around Highway 100 on the Rock Freeway. But other than that, nothing really to slow you down. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a few morning flurries, becoming sunny and blustery this afternoon. Temperatures topping out in the mid-20s. Northwest winds could gust as high as 30 miles per hour. It's mainly clear and breezy tonight, low of around 10. Wind chills could fall below 0. Mostly sunny and breezy for Saturday with a high of 22. More clouds for Sunday, highs in the mid-20s. There's a chance for a few morning snow showers at the lakefront on Monday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 20s. We'll hold on to clouds for Tuesday with a high of 26. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
21 degrees in Milwaukee.
not sure why this is being announced today. It could be because it's January, and oftentimes in January you have people celebrating dry January, trying to go a month without drinking alcohol or consuming alcoholic beverages. Maybe that's part of it, but
sure, New Year's resolutions ahead.
Yeah, there's
such.
that. Yep. U.S. Surgeon General announcing today a new report warning of a link between alcohol and cancer.
The Surgeon General's report calls alcohol use a leading and preventable cause of cancer, saying drinking is responsible for nearly 100,000 cancer cases and about 20,000 cancer deaths per year. That puts alcohol behind tobacco and obesity as America's leading preventable cancer causes.
That's ABC's Stephen Portnoy. So the report says consuming it increases the risk of cancers in the mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, colon. For women, in the breasts. The report recommends new warning labels. So they want, similar to like what you see in packs of cigarettes, they want warning labels put on packages of alcohol.
Man, I guess we hadn't, until recently, thought of alcohol
you knew
as
it
a
wasn't
cancer risk. Yeah, right.
You knew it wasn't healthy.
Right. Probably better not to drink, and anything in moderation, right? Because there are occasionally these stories about, well, a glass of wine does this, that, and for you.
Right. And then you'll hear a different report, though, that says something.
Also, right. And then you hear Granny, who's 113 years old, she credits her good health to a good pull of whiskey a day and whatever.
Daily highball,
right,
whatever it might be.
7:43 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Feeling bullied by your bank?
It's not a hidden fee, it's a surprise fee. Surprise!
Like they're just making things harder.
That's not my department. I got a transfer.
Or like they don't even know you?
That sounds like a you problem.
At Wintrust, we take a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, we've got local experts ready to lend a hand.
Wintrust.
Start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/bullyfree. Wintrust. Different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Banks. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
New Year's resolution, finally do something about that old garage door. Vince Vitrano for Lifetime Door Company. Time to give the biggest door to your home the look, style, and function it demands. Our holiday guests, first thing they said when they walked in this year, wow, that new garage door looks really nice. Lifetime also installed a new opener. It's so quiet, LED lights, camera equipped. You can even run it from an app right on your phone. Lifetime Door will walk you through every option to help you fit your budget. And they've extended the December deal. Listen to this. Into the new year for everybody who listens to Wisconsin's Morning News. You tell them Vinny sent you. Maybe if you just need service on your existing door, you want just the opener, you want to do a whole new operation, they'll knock 5% off the total purchase on all service and installation. Now's the time. Improve the look and function of your home with the biggest door on the house. Get started online now at lifetimedoor.net.
Mineshaft Restaurant gift cards make perfect year-round gifts as everyone loves a free meal. Through January 15th, buy a $100 gift card, get a $20 gift card free. Order online at mineshaft.restaurant.com. Big food, big fun. It's the Mineshaft.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
7:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What do we want to do first here?
Packers.
Yeah, Packers. Packers are in the playoffs, of course, regardless of what happens Sunday against the Bears. You have an opportunity to grab the 6th seed, otherwise they're the 7th. Some conversation about whether some star players might sit it out. Not Eric's guy, Xavier McKinney, sitting on 7 picks.
Need 3 today. There were 3 on Sunday.
If he gets 10 through the playoffs, I'll give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
But he has no plans to rest up for this postseason.
I think getting this win, regardless of what it does for us in the future, obviously we know we're in the playoffs, but it's a rival game, it's a division game, and I want to be able to be out there for my teammates. So there was no question about me not wanting to play. I wanted to play this game regardless. So
now Packers head coach Matt LaFleur has suggested he will play starters and try to win the game. We'll talk more Packers coming up with ESPN's Jason Wilde. He joins us at 8:10 this morning. Bucks next play the Trailblazers. That'll be at home tomorrow night. Went to the game last night, E.
Oh, yeah. Boy, most of it bad.
Yeah, and in addition, 7 p.m. tip is a tough pull for those of us who get up super early. In addition to being the longest NBA game I remember ever attending, it went almost 3 hours. It was, to your point, largely awful.
Another near turnover. Rollins does get it to Giannis. He corkscrews past his man and stuffs it down, serving up a facial against
Well, there was
Claxton.
that. Giannis had a couple of amazing dunks. Yeah. He's always fun to watch. Maybe still sparing him some minutes as he recovers from illness. He did not play. He always gets a blow here and there, but did not play a ton of minutes in that second half. They brought him back into the fourth quarter. Bucks have been sick. Something going through the locker room last week and a half or so. Anyway, we were down 20 to Brooklyn at that point of the dunk. The deficit was 24 at its height. But off the bench in the fourth quarter, Pat Connaughton provided a much-needed spark.
Connaughton pokes it away with a second to shoot. Connaughton blocks the shot. Lillard feeds it ahead to Connaughton. Pat stuffs it down, hanging on the rim on the other side. It's an 8-point game. 2:52 to go in the fourth.
Would then, thanks Dave, bring it to within a point. Giannis missed a hard contested layup. Down 3, desperation, last attempt.
Gonna have to be a quick shot. Sends it to Lillard at midcourt. He's on his back foot, throws up the desperation heave, and it misses. Well, we've seen some wild ones through the years. That was about as wild as it gets to start the new year, unfortunately.
The Bucks had dug themselves into a hole that this time was too big to climb out of.
Again, Giannis not happy about that, it sounded like after the game.
No, Bucks coach Doc Rivers did praise the team's grit, praise the contribution and spark he got from Connaughton. Also was very complimentary of me.
The crowd was great. We have a great crowd. I mean, they had every reason not to be here, and they hung in there, and it was great for us. I think our crowd is phenomenal.
I did my part.
Did he point at you when he left?
Like, for example, that guy up there. Right? I thought about not being there, as Doc was saying, but stuck it out. Bucks fall to the Nets, 113-110. 7 p.m. tip against Portland tomorrow night at Fiserv Forum.
College basketball, UW-Milwaukee riding a 5-game winning streak. Looking forward to a big game against Oakland, the Horizon League champions, but it was not meant to be.
First time in 91 games the Panthers have been held under 50. Final score again, it is Oakland 65, Milwaukee 49. The champs are still very much the champs.
Yeah, Oakland champions last year, the Horizon. Scott Warris with the call on 101.7 The Truth as the Panthers get beat up and lost in a month. Coach Bart Lundy said they just got punched in the mouth. Up next, Detroit Mercy on Saturday. Badgers play Iowa tonight at the Kohl Center. Hockey, the men fall to the Spartans. The women beat Ohio State, and those teams all play again tomorrow at Wrigley Field. Outdoor hockey in Chicago. Badger Sports Update, sponsored by Siding Unlimited Siding, and a whole lot more.
Coming up, we've got new information on the terror attack in New Orleans, who the attacker was and who he was not. That is coming up next.
Hey, Wayne, shopping for a new door?
I sure am.
This fiberglass door is really strong. We love ours. Do you need something more dependable?
Yes, something that's durable, dent resistant, knows how to take a hit, and is going to last for years.
We're still talking about the door, right?
Oh, yeah, right, of course.
Wayne Larrabee and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? What could happen next? How about 0% interest for up to 3 years? Or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months? I'm Gina Della from Pella. This incredible offer from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is only available until February 29th, so hurry. We offer a wide range of window and door styles to perfectly match your home's unique design. Start customizing today with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months. Only at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details on lines 2/29/24. I found the fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:51. How's the drive, Deb?
Not bad. We're still looking pretty good across most of the freeway system. We do have one issue on Highway 100 southbound. Left lane is blocked right about at Center Street. So it's on basically Mayfair Road. So be careful with that. Other than that, we're looking good. Maybe a quick brake check westbound 94 coming out of the stadium. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
And the TMJ forecast is sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Bit of a cold stretch here. Today's high just 24 degrees with some morning flurries and sunshine. Tonight, wind chills could drop below zero with a low of 10 degrees. Wind chills could remain below zero for much of Saturday with a high of just 22. Sunday, mostly cloudy and a high 26. Right now at 21 in Milwaukee.
Big to-do, Vince, in Washington, D.C. today, and I'm not talking about the House Speaker vote or anything like that.
Happening today.
But yes, happening today. A big security briefing going to take place. So DCPD, the Capitol Police, the Secret Service, the FBI, they're all going to hold a joint news briefing about security measures with all these big events that are planned here in the coming days and weeks. You have the certification on Monday. You got the former President Jimmy Carter memorial service next week. You got the inauguration in a couple of weeks. So there's a lot that's going to be taking place in and around Washington, D.C. with a lot of VIPs in the coming weeks. Why is that a big deal right now? Well, because of what happened in New Orleans. So more in Washington in a minute. Right now, that's how it sounded on Bourbon Street in the Big Easy. This after that attack just a few days earlier. Life starting to return to normal in the French Quarter. ABC's Jim Ryan is there.
In the day after the terror attack, law enforcers from various agencies nearly outnumber the tourists in the French Quarter, and Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry observed.
Right now, this is one of the safest places on earth.
Thursday night, the public took him at his word, and the nightly street party that is the French Quarter resumed.
Safest place on earth as he's flanked by 18 security
right,
officers.
Everybody's there.
Yeah, a lot of cops there. So now we're starting to get a little bit more detail about the attackers, Shamsud Din Jabbar, and his movements leading up to the attack. Drove overnight, 300-plus miles to New Orleans in that truck that he rented. 2 hours before the rampage, he posted videos to Facebook where he openly discussed killing members of his own family. Then, a short time after that,
at 2:03 a.m., just over an hour before the attack, he's seen walking along Dauphine Street, just a block from Bourbon Street, where the FBI says he placed explosive devices inside 2 coolers and had a remote detonator. Then, around 3:15 a.m., he takes a sharp right turn, using that truck as a weapon, launching his attack.
Yeah, there was a report and a suggestion from the FBI and others that maybe he had accomplices, maybe he was working with others. They no longer think that's the case. And part of it was because of these bombs being placed other places. Who was he working with? So as of now, they say, no, there's nothing to indicate that he was working with anyone else. So why did it happen? What led to him becoming a member of quote-unquote ISIS?
More than 1,000 federal, state, and local law enforcement officials going full tilt the last 24 hours. Thus far, not finding any other co-conspirators, but still trying to determine if Shamsud Din Jabbar was radicalized to become an ISIS sympathizer online on his own, or whether he was recruited and handled by an ISIS member directly.
Yeah, was there someone working, who knows from God knows where, via the internet or whatever, working to create this radicalization, or was it all on his own, just reading and falling, doom scrolling, if you will?
Well, yeah, which is scarier?
Yeah,
right? Actually having some level of engagement with a real member of ISIS overseas, or just the possibility that there's so much crap out there that is free to consume that caused an otherwise, like a U.S. Army
vet,
right, to become so radicalized and so deranged that he figures, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to mow people down in a busy area on New Year's.
There is a mosque near where he lives, and some members of that mosque did tell the media that, never seen him here before. They did ask, like one member did say, well, I did reach out to him once and say, hey, you should come join us at the mosque. And he said, no, I pray at home. And that was the end of that. So at least in this one particular case. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, this one even odder. What led to Matt Livelsberger, a 37-year-old service member, to rent a Cybertruck and blow it up outside the Trump Hotel? a decorated active duty member of the U.S. military. ABC's Mola Lengi.
He was a master sergeant in the Green Berets. Authorities say that he was on approved leave from his current active duty posting at his base in Germany at the time of the deadly incident. Now, sources also say that Livelsberger's wife told authorities during the course of this investigation that he had been out of the house in Colorado Springs since Christmas following a dispute over infidelity. But authorities are still combing through his military records, through his home, to try to get a better understanding of who he was.
Yeah, a young father as well. So trying to determine this. Now, the one thing the FBI did say, it's not lost on him that he was driving a Cybertruck and that this happened in front of a Trump hotel. Again, they're still kind of combing through all that. But yes, they realized the optics there, that maybe that had something to do with this. One thing they did say, though, is that he took his own life before the explosion occurred.
It is 7:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News. A lot of stuff ahead in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll get you the top of the hour headlines. And then after that, ESPN's Jason Wilde joins us. Tausch was off today. Oh, by the way, he's back with us on Monday. We'll talk to Wilde about a number of things. You asked an interesting question. Who do we root for Sunday night?
Yeah.
Lions and Vikings for the top seed in the NFC playoffs. Also interested, obviously, in his expectations for the Packers. And it could be Aaron Rodgers' last game. Wilde, particularly early in Rodgers' career with the Packers, developed a pretty close relationship with him. So thoughts on that as well. That's coming up at the top of the hour news, after the top of the hour news at 8:10.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Axis Communications out of Sweden plans its first Wisconsin office in downtown Milwaukee. The global technology company is expected to move in later this year at 833 East Michigan Street. Electric motorcycle company Livewire Group Incorporated intends to outsource numerous corporate services with Milwaukee-based Harley-Davidson in 2025. Some of those services include human resources, insurance, engineering, and accounting. The owners of Explorium Brew Pub acquire Milwaukee's Good City Brewing. The sale includes Good City's locations and brewing equipment, but not the brand, which Explorium will license as the transition moves ahead. Good City's warehouse at the Century City Business Park is not part of the deal. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Winter's here and here to stay, so it's time to stock up on cold weather essentials at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Stay toasty with unbeatable prices on insulated boots, outerwear, thermal layers, wool socks, and a great range of home and garage heaters. Keep animals comfortable with heated equipment, de-icers, and livestock bedding. Plus, stay safe on the go with trusted brands of tires and batteries, portable jump starters, ice scrapers, antifreeze, and more. Trust the cold weather experts and find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, January 3rd, our top story, back to Bourbon Street.
I'm Erik Bilstad, preparing for a big vote in D.C.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We have an issue on Mayfair Road southbound right about at Center Street. We got the left lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. Other than that, we've got a great ride shaping up on the freeway system, standard speeds, and good road conditions. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 24 degrees today with some morning flurries possible, then mostly sunny skies and a bit on the breezy side as well. Cold tonight, low down to 10 with wind chills possibly dropping below 0. Right now it's 17 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, folks who live in New Orleans and tourists alike, street musicians, they've returned to Bourbon Street following the New Year's Day attack that claimed 14 lives. Katie Weiss from CBS News.
Crowds returned to Bourbon Street Thursday, along with extra police presence.
We're not going to be scared or terrorized. New Orleans is going to keep going like we always do.
Authorities now say the man who rammed a truck through crowds celebrating the new year early Wednesday acted alone.
Meanwhile, as the investigation into the attack continues, a new warning from the federal government. ABC's Pierre Thomas.
The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security sent out a bulletin to 18,000 law enforcement agencies, basically out of an abundance of caution, telling them be on the lookout for copycats. They're very concerned that people will be motivated by what they saw and try to act out on their own.
We do know that the barricades in the city of New Orleans to keep cars from driving into pedestrian areas were being upgraded at the time. They were working ahead of Mardi Gras and the Super Bowl. Security measures that night did not stop the driver.
Former Milwaukee police chief and current chief of the Fitchburg Police, Alfonso Morales, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the problem sometimes lies in the funding alone.
It costs money.
But threats like these have not gone away.
Those are challenges. When I was a chief down there, I would often have to get involved in these meetings with elected officials and some private sector people who didn't want to pay the money for the security that was needed.
He believes the most important measure is not what happened, but what didn't happen. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
On Capitol Hill, the House of Representatives kicks off the new session today with a vote for House Speaker. Tom Dempsey's with News Nation.
Mike Johnson has just a few more hours to try and sway any undecided fellow Republicans ahead of this House Speaker vote. So expect him to be making phone calls this morning, maybe even having more meetings behind closed doors, because there is a lot of uncertainty heading into this vote at noon today. News Nation has also learned that around a dozen Republicans are asking for commitments from Speaker Johnson for things like spending cuts and more involvement in negotiations.
Now, Republicans currently have the slimmest majority in nearly a century. That means Johnson can only afford to lose one vote and still win another term as House Speaker if all the other lawmakers vote today.
New challenges on the political climate in Wisconsin ahead. TMJ4 News political reporter Charles Benson talking with Wisconsin's Afternoon News says 2025 will be highlighted by the spring election to determine which party controls the state Supreme Court.
We're at a significant point. It currently leans 4-3 liberal, and now one of the liberal-leaning justices is leaving, and so it raises the question, is it Susan Crawford, the one liberal-leaning candidate, or Brad Schimmel, the conservative-leaning candidate?
That state Supreme Court election will be April 4th.
Two former Milwaukee County correctional officers accused of abusing inmates now face charges. Prosecutors say Rafael Gomez and Marquez Reeder punched inmates and even used pepper spray on them. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says it's working with the DA's office now to provide evidence and other information that'll help both in court cases.
New Lisbon is a small community in Wisconsin, in the Wisconsin Dells area, and we are learning more about the victims who were killed there as a manhunt continues for the shooter.
33-year-old Elizabeth Colbo was found dead at a home on West Bridge Street on Monday. New Lisbon police have not released the names of the two juvenile victims, but did reveal their ages are 12 and 13. Police are still searching for 47-year-old Virgil Thu, who is considered armed and dangerous. He has over a dozen previous felony convictions, including possessing a gun as a felon, burglary, and theft. Juneau County Sheriff's Office has shared a new photo of Thu shopping at New Lisbon Dollar General on Sunday. Find that image on our website at WTMJ.com. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up, the loading wheel could soon be more common. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump, But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
A former Milwaukee Public Schools superintendent has died.
Robert Peterkin was a Harvard grad who cut his teeth in education in Boston before becoming the first black superintendent of MPS appointed after a full-scale job search in 1988. He would leave the district to take a position at his alma mater in 1991. When reflecting on his time at MPS in 2010, Peterkin acknowledged a desire to have done more for the district.
To take any time around conversations about all the stuff that happens around schools is a disastrous waste of time.
Peterkin was 79 years old. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Internet speeds could wane, could potentially slow down for some consumers because of a federal court decision that was announced on Thursday.
Net neutrality no longer has any say when it comes to regulating the internet, according to the U.S. Court of Appeals. Marquette University professor of digital media and performing arts, Dr. Erik Uglin, says the repeal against the FCC's internet regulations could bring concerns to consumers.
It basically empowers these huge companies that have already monopolistic influence in their domains to use that power to squeeze consumers even more.
Dr. Uglin says consumers should compare internet plans in the future to make sure that they get the best service possible. Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
The Hollywood Awards season kicks off Sunday, the 82nd Golden Globes on CBS.
Netflix Emilia Perez goes into the Golden Globes as the most nominated film. It's up for 10 awards, including Best Comedy or Musical. But Wicked could triumph. The Brutalist is a critical favorite for Best Drama.
Tell me, why is an accomplished foreign architect shoveling coal here in Philadelphia?
On the TV side,
I'm Eugene Levy.
I'm Eva Longoria. It's a battle between Murders in the Building, The Bear, and Shogun. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep.
Slipping on the ice?
Ugh.
Someone else shoveling your driveway.
Ah.
Cold feet?
Ugh.
Toasty tootsies.
Ah.
Waking up to a cold house?
Ugh.
With no warm air coming from the register.
Ugh.
And discovering your antiquated furnace is DOA.
Ugh.
But now, this is you learning that Mr. Holland's Home Services can install a new, fully warranted, highly efficient comfort system.
Ah.
Better yet, you can enjoy consistent, cozy comfort with payments as low as $79 a month with approved credit.
Ah.
Because you deserve it.
Ah.
If your failing furnace is showing signs of old age, be proactive. Call Mr. Holland's Home Services to schedule the installation of your brand new, fully functional comfort system for a low monthly rate. And take your winter from
Ugh.
to 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Ready to put some thought in your We can help.
11 minutes after 8, we'll talk with ESPN's Jason Wilde about the final week of the NFL regular season, Deb, and then it's off to the playoffs.
Alrighty then. Well, we have one issue. This is on Mayfair Road heading southbound, right about at Sutter Street. We've got the left lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. And then northbound on 94, just north of College Avenue, looks like we got some tire debris, so they may have to close off the right lane, maybe the next one over. So watch out for that. Folks are moving along fine. I'm not seeing too much volume out there at all, so we're not seeing really any delays. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunshine right now, and it should stay that way for today with breezy conditions as well and a high of 24 degrees. Cold tonight. Wind chills could dip below zero with a low air temperature of just 10. Saturday, temperature still below zero for much of Saturday with a high of 22 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Clouds return for Sunday. Sunday's high 26. Right now at just 17.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
8:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News. So glad you're with us here to close out this first partial week of 2025. On Sunday, both Saturday and Sunday, games tomorrow as well in the NFL Week 18. You know, the Packers and Lions playing the final game of the NFL's regular season, and the winner of that game is going to be the number one overall seed in the NFC. Also, the Packers, of course, still with a chance to get the 6th seed in the playoffs, likely looking like a 7. Either way, we play the Bears, which is a big deal already on Sunday. But as we bring in ESPN's Jason Wilde, Jason, I want to start with something that we haven't talked about yet this week. Sunday could be Aaron Rodgers' last game in the National Football League. I guess for starters, do you think it will be?
I have a hard time imagining a competitor of his ilk walking away from the game with the way this season went. So I recognize it as a possibility, just as this could be my last appearance on Wisconsin's Morning News, but given Tausch's schedule, probably not the case. So it's possible, but not likely, in my opinion.
So what has to happen for him? Like, he's done with the Jets, right? Does his contract not end at the end of the year? And so they would have to say, we'd like a new contract with you, or somebody else would have to pick him up. What's his status?
No, I think he's under contract.
Oh, is he?
I think they'll have to release him. And they're gonna start over. That has been. I thought it was going to work. I did not think they were going to win a Super Bowl, but I thought he was going to be the one who went in there and because he's always one kind of step behind Brady, right? Like Brady went to Tampa and they won a Super Bowl. I didn't think that it would work out for him that way, but I thought, they'd finally make the playoffs after missing the playoffs for a decade plus, and that would be good enough for Jets fans. And instead, he ruptures his Achilles last year on his 4th play, and then I did not see. Tausch did. That's why you guys have him on the show, not me. He saw this coming. He saw it as a complete train wreck waiting to happen, and he was right, and I was definitely wrong. So I remember when we used to be doing the show together, Rodgers and I, and he used to say I'm going to be done by the time I'm 35, 36. And he also used to say, I'm never going to turn into Brett Favre. And he's kind of done both. So I will be surprised if this is his last game. There will be, I would think, some other team that will be desperate enough to give him one last shot, but we'll have to wait and see.
Talking with ESPN's Jason Wilde this morning on Wisconsin's Morning News. Dude, I saw you. I watched the whole Aaron Rodgers 3-episode Netflix series, and I thought of you when I saw you in the background of a couple of those shots, because I imagine your experience was similar to one that I had. Whole career in broadcasting, whatever. At the time, I was on TV every day, but my phone never blew up. Then, like when folks saw me in the background shot of a Stephen Avery spot on the Making a Murderer, when that was hot on Netflix, did your phone blow up? Hey, Wilde, I saw you on Netflix.
I got a few text messages about it. I have not watched it. He and I have a lot of history together, and I think some of it will. He's just a very different cat than he was back in the day. So I'm going to hold off. Maybe I'll watch it once the season is over. But yeah, I got a few messages. I was not asked to be interviewed for that at all. I'm a little curious as to who all was part of the interview process. So that's another reason why I'm kind of curious and want to watch. But yeah, I was not part of the process. So just my voice and my biggest question was, did I look fat in the picture that they
You
used?
look
That was really my
fantastic,
biggest
man.
concern.
No, really
Thank
good.
you.
Yep.
That's very kind of you. They must have photoshopped.
Hey, Jason, so, excuse me, we posed this question to your colleague Gabe Neitzel earlier. He joined us on Wisconsin's Morning News about Sunday night. So, big game Sunday night. You got the Vikings and the Lions. The winner is the top seed in the NFC. They get a bye. They got home field advantage. The loser drops to the 5 and will have to travel, and who knows if they'll even get a home game. So here's was Gabe's answer when we asked him, who should Packer fans root for in that game?
I think we want the Lions to win. But I'm not sure because both those teams are really good, and you have to play a pretty pretty close to perfect game if you want to win. Should the Packers make it that far?
So he thinks maybe the Lions would be the better matchup in the second round of the playoffs if the Packers were to get that far. What say you?
Well, let's back up for a second, Eric, because as you guys were talking, it is. I think it's unlikely that Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys, given how decimated they are with injuries, and they kind of emptied the bucket a couple weeks ago to beat Tampa Bay. I don't think they're going to beat Washington on Sunday. That game is at the same time as Packers-Bears. So, I think the Commanders are going to end up as the 6th seed. The Packers will be the 7th seed. Now, what's interesting is if they're the 7th seed, first they got to play at Philly. Mm-hmm. Let's say they beat Philly. Then they get either the Vikings or the Lions, whoever ends up getting the 1st seed. So you got to beat the 2 seed, then you got to beat the 1 seed. What's crazy is that you kind of look at the rest of the playoff picture, right? It's Tampa Bay most likely going to win the South. The Rams have won the West. It's not out of the realm of possibility that somehow if the Packers knock off the Eagles and then the Lions/Vikings, that they would get the other team from the NFC. And potentially their road to the Super Bowl, which I do not think they're going to. I think they're a year away. But wouldn't it be an incredible story if they beat the Eagles, the Lions, and the Vikings, all 3 of the teams that they lost to and couldn't beat all season when the regular season was going on? If they beat all 3 of those teams when it mattered, that would be an incredible story. I don't think that will be the story, but as someone who loves a good story, that's pretty darn good.
It writes itself. Who even needs you at that point, Wildy, right?
Again, this is why I like your brother more than I like you. You would never say, who needs you, Wildy? Like, no one would say that except you, Vinny.
And he's doing us a favor today. That was not a good shot.
Right, I agree.
Hey, man, I did want to ask you because I spend, a lot of time, Eric and I put together the sports reports every morning, so I listen to virtually every Matt LaFleur news conference kind of in its entirety. Can you talk a little bit about what the room is like? 2 to 3 times a week, he sits there in the media auditorium there at 1265 Lombardi.
And Vince complains, by the way, Wildy, all the time about, God, he's not saying anything.
But and to your credit and a few of your colleagues there, you're doing everything you can to mine some sort of nugget out of LaFleur, but sometimes he gives it back to you. I find some of the most entertaining moments of these things, the exchanges that he has with you all, and how, what was he talking to Silverstein last week? And he was like, what about this? And he's like, well, what do you think, Tom? No, I'm interested in what you think. But it's colloquial, right?
It is. He obviously has a job to try and limit the amount of information that he gets out. I remember one year when Mike Sherman was the coach, we got done with a press conference, and he came up to my office and sat down and bragged that, well, I really gave you guys nothing today. And I got mad. I was like, Mike, we're the conduit to the fans, man. Those people care. And, don't pat yourself on the back. And I love Mike, and obviously I had a great relationship with Mike McCarthy. I got a really good one with LaFleur too. But, that is the challenge. And I take that challenge very personally. And I know I get a lot of grief for my questions being long-winded. And LaFleur has now adopted the approach of cutting me off to start his answer, which is fine because I'm not arrogant. I don't think there's a lot of things people call me. That's not one of them. But I do take a lot of pride in my questions. I think I actually know what I'm doing, even though people on social media don't enjoy how long they sometimes are. Because the most important thing is getting an answer. And the concise question, while it might work in some settings, trying to get people who are trying not to say anything to say something, the short stuff gives them every opportunity to dodge and just kind of obfuscate. And so I really enjoy that challenge. I used to love interviewing Ted Thompson, who was always hell-bent on not saying much. So I enjoy that challenge. I think we've got a good rapport with Matt. He gave me a hard time for being under the weather when I was barely audible with my question a couple weeks ago. So I will just say this for fans that are listening. We really do, at least I do, and I know several others do, take our job seriously. You don't get to go to the press conferences and ask questions. I do take that responsibility seriously of being the conduit between the team and these people and you, and I hope people understand that.
Well, and I always say to Wildy, whether it's, you're talking about a coach or a team or what have you, or Erik and me trying to interview a politician or whatever, I'm going to get paid today. Like, you can answer my question or no, I'm good. You're not talking to me.
Right.
You're talking through me and to the audience that we reach, and they're the ones who want to hear from you.
Yeah, and I understand that again, my questions can be a little long-winded.
I enjoy them.
But
I think Maddie enjoys them a little bit.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he enjoys the jousting. But I say this all the time, and if I ever get the chance to teach, one of the things that I would emphasize to young journalists is it's not about the question, it's about the answer.
Yes, you got to listen.
And whatever it takes to get the answer, and yes, listening. I don't think I've got a lot of marketable skills, but I think I'm a pretty good listener. What was the question again?
You know who needs you, Wildy? I do. We need you all the time. Thanks, my friend.
You need me on that line. You want me on that line, or at least you want me with Couch isn't around. Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. Take care. We'll talk again soon.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Take care. Be good.
8:23 on Wisconsin's Morning News. All right, Debbie, what do you see on the roads?
Well, we still have this issue with the debris in the roadway. Northbound 94, just past the ramp from College Avenue. So watch out for that. Otherwise, everything else is looking great. Not seeing any other delays or incidents. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Through His Word, God created the world and everything in it. Sadly, our words often threaten to destroy all that God has made. Dr. Michael Ziegler says Jesus is God's living invitation into a life-restoring dialogue with our Creator. In the beginning was dialogue. Dr. Ziegler's message this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Great story here about my friends at Johnson & Sons Paving. Buddy of mine here texted, said he's on the board at his church, and they needed to redo the parking lot. And he's like, I got a guy. Or at least I know about somebody who has a guy. So I get him in touch with Jeff Johnson. And Jeff is out there the next day, ready to draw up his analysis, what needs to be done, budget and pricing specs, copied me on the email even. I know he was surprised by my friend telling him, yeah, I already went and had a look, drew up a whole bunch of thoughts for you, and we can get together soon. Just a great commitment to service, even if you're not sure it's time or how much it's going to cost. Tell them Vinny told you to call and get the Johnson & Sons team out to your property, residential or commercial, and you get a no-obligation quote. At least you know what you're dealing with now, and you can get on the schedule for early next year. Asphalt and concrete, plenty of Johnsons over there, no subcontractors, johnsonsonspaving.com.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. possible, and it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
8:26 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Big day in Washington, the front end of many important days in the coming weeks in our nation's capital.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Erik, you mentioned earlier, big security briefing because ahead of how many events you have. Well, I'll get to what's happening today.
You got the certification on Monday. Yes. You got the Jimmy Carter memorials and everything that's taking place in Washington for that.
And then the inauguration on January 20th. So the security briefing is who? All the acronyms are going to get together and tell us we got this?
Yep. Alphabet soup.
Yes. 119th Congress kicks off today as well. Members in the House and Senate to be sworn in the House, not before they elect a speaker. Republicans have that razor-thin margin in the House, and Louisiana's Mike Johnson may not be a first ballot winner of the post.
Thomas Massey, who's long time been a spending hawk. He has said he's a firm no on Mike Johnson. In the current makeup of the House, Johnson can only afford to lose one vote, which means if there was just one more no vote, he would not get the Speaker's gavel. And as we saw with Kevin McCarthy, that would trigger another round of voting, and they would keep having round after round after round until someone finally got the requisite support to win.
Yeah, ABC's Jay O'Brien there. So it's more than just housekeeping. You may recall, as he alluded to there, on the front end of the 118th Congress, so where we were 2 years ago at this time, it took 3 days?
Right, yeah.
15 votes to get Kevin McCarthy elected, a post which he ultimately would lose anyway, clearing the way for Johnson. Johnson's been knocking on doors on Capitol Hill. He's meeting with his caucus.
Meetings are going great.
Okay, there you go.
Meetings are going great?
Meetings are going great. Okay, everything's going to be great. Johnson does have the support of the incoming president.
President-elect Trump is standing by his support of Johnson. Trump's political team is working the phones to some of these undecided members. They're also confident.
ABC's Catherine Falders reporting there. As for Wisconsin, our congressional delegation is largely unchanged, but for one new member. Republican and political newcomer Tony Weed elected to the vacant seat in northeast Wisconsin. So that's 8th Congressional District up there. He's got the first day of school jitters today.
Oh, yeah.
What did you say his office would be in an annex?
It's somewhere in Virginia.
Right, not even in D.C. proper, right? Yeah, as one of the newcomers among 65 new members in the House. Tammy Baldwin, of course, reelected to the U.S. Senate. She will be sworn in today, as will all members.
So who's the congressman who's voting no? There's a Republican who says he's going to vote no.
What do you say, Massey?
Massey, okay. So
I predict last time you hear this guy's name, too. Like, you hadn't heard of him before
I'm telling you,
before today.
He's in the best spot, so he gets to vote no and announce it ahead of time. So everyone's talking about him, but he's not going to be the decider. He's not going to be the second vote to knock out Speaker Johnson.
Okay. You mean so somebody else, those few other undecideds, now they're in this pool of like, hey, you better get in line.
So he jumped on board first, knowing that likely there won't be a second no vote, and he gets to be the one that everyone talks about for a while.
It's a fascinating take on that,
I think that's all. It makes you think nothing burger today, that this is going to breeze through and that he's just going to be the one no vote on the GOP side.
Could be. They are to gavel in at 11 o'clock our time, and again, the House can conduct no business until that speaker post is filled. So that'll be one to watch today. Coming up on 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Winter's here and here to stay, so it's time to stock up on cold weather essentials at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Stay toasty with unbeatable prices on insulated boots, outerwear, thermal layers, wool socks, and a great range of home and garage heaters. Keep animals comfortable with heated equipment, de-icers, and livestock bedding. Plus, stay safe on the go with trusted brands of tires and batteries, portable jump starters, ice scrapers, antifreeze, and more. Trust the cold weather experts and find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Ben, I thought you were on vacation.
I am.
Okay.
I found the perfect vacation spot.
Where?
Here.
At Penny Mustard?
Specifically, the Miles sofa at Penny Mustard.
Did you say you're vacationing on a sofa?
It's not your run-of-the-mill sofa. The Miles sectional sofa is different.
Well, it is super comfy.
When you're fully ensconced in the luxurious embrace of the Miles sectional sofa, you ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Perfect for relaxing after a hard day of work.
Or a fun day of play.
Built just the way you want it.
So you're really spending a week of vacation on the Miles sofa?
I'll send you a postcard.
Postcard?
Dear Arvid and Nicole, wish you were here.
Good grief.
P.S. Miles says hi.
The Miles Sectional, starting at just $238 a month, with only 1 penny down and no interest till January of 2028. Through January 5th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Hey, through January 15th, buy a $100 gift card from the Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford. Get a $20 gift card free. Order online today at mineshaft.restaurant.com.
8:32, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Friday, January 3rd. Our top story, alleged abuse at the Milwaukee County Jail.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A new warning from the Surgeon General.
I'm Debbie Laziga. It is still a clear ride. Have not seen one delay really anywhere. Right now, everything is moving smoothly. Just that issue on northbound 94, just past College Avenue, where there is some debris in the roadway going to get swept out of the way. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Morning flurries, although I don't see anything on the radar that should cause you any issues. Mostly sunny today and breezy with a high of 24. Wind chills could dip below zero tonight with an air temperature low of 10. Right now at just 17 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 2 former Milwaukee County correctional officers accused of abusing inmates now face charges. Prosecutors say Rafael Gomez and Marcus Reeder punched inmates and used pepper spray. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says it's working with the District Attorney's Office to provide evidence. Both men scheduled to appear in court later this month.
An inmate suffering from life-threatening injuries this morning after being assaulted at the Racine County Jail. He was attacked by another inmate in the jail's day room. It happened Tuesday afternoon. Didn't last very long, less than a minute.
President Biden has followed through on his pledge to block Nippon Steel's nearly $15 billion bid for U.S. steel. Cami McCormick from CBS News.
The president said this morning a strong domestically owned and operated steel industry is a national security priority. Steel powers our country, he said, from the auto industry to the defense industrial base. And without domestic production and domestic workers, the nation is less strong and less secure. U.S. Steel, he said, will remain a proud American company.
Now, both President Biden and President-elect Trump have insisted U.S. Steel should remain American-owned.
U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy is out with a new report warning of a link between alcohol and cancer. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
The Surgeon General's report calls alcohol use a leading and preventable cause of cancer, saying drinking is responsible for nearly 100,000 cancer cases and about 20,000 cancer deaths per year. That puts alcohol behind tobacco and obesity as America's leading preventable cancer causes. The report says consuming it increases the risk of cancers in the mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, colon, and in women, breasts.
The Surgeon General says it's time for Congress to require stronger warning labels for alcohol, calling beer, wine, and liquor a leading preventable cause of cancer.
Helps to be physically fit as well.
It's a common New Year's resolution, but there's a right way and wrong way to go about it.
Instead of aiming for these big, overwhelming goals, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, I'm going to stop eating dessert, whatever it is, just break it down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Dr. Ben Weston of the Medical College of Wisconsin also recommends partnering with a buddy to help keep you motivated.
Friends or family, they can provide valuable support, encouragement, accountability, and really make you stay on track.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Now, it wasn't your imagination. Last winter in Wisconsin was the warmest ever on record. The Wisconsin State Climatology Office reports the winter was an average high temp of just over 28 degrees. That's the highest total since records began back in 1895.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Hoping to break the losing streak. The Opening bell and the Dow is off and running, up 247 points to 42,639. S&P 500 right now at 5907. That is up 38 points. NASDAQ is up 162 to 19,443. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:35. Coming up. No, they're still buzzing above New Jersey.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. In a moment, a new deal from our friends at Pella Windows and Doors on how to make things more affordable for you in this new year. Yeah, for a lot of folks, Happy New Year. That's like a day, right? You have New Year's Day, and then you kind of get down this time of year. Not a lot of sunlight, and the weather's kind of cold and gray. You got the frigid days on the horizon. Folks like to be snugly and warm at home, and that's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. You've got the inviting doors that welcome friends and family into that cozy home. Thanks to Pella's gorgeous energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out, Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Here's the deal. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest on your financing for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. It's been a couple of years even since we've had our beautiful patio door and big old windows that go on the either side installed. I still enjoy that every single day when I look at it. And right now you have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions do apply, so find out details by reaching out to PellaWI.com.
During your career, investments piled up. From 401ks to brokerage accounts, it turned into quite a collection. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. We've analyzed thousands. Some reflect diligence and fortitude. Others, a mishmash of overlapping investments. When Annex reviews a portfolio, we spot what works, what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions. Every portfolio tells a story. Let's work on yours. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. That's our story. Head to AnnexWealth.com.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey. Riding with you every mile since 1977.
.39 on Wisconsin's Morning News. See, 2025, and it's gone. It's disappeared.
What's gone?
The drone story. It was hot, it was hot, it was hot. They're flying all over. Who's attacking us? Is it the aliens? Is it China? Is it whatever? The buzz. It's all happening. Now, like, what have we heard?
No, it's not over.
It's not?
I have an update. All right. So the latest on all these drones, the 5,000 reports that the FBI got on this, 2% of which were actually worth looking into, they say. So the FAA is now adding new temporary flight restrictions preventing drones from flying over parts of another 9 New Jersey towns. So they had put in 57 drone flight restrictions since late November. So people complained. There were a lot of calls, obviously a lot of attention. So they put in restrictions saying, okay, banned from these areas, can't fly here. They just added some new ones, according to NJ.com, which is one of the big digital news providers there in New Jersey. So they've added new temporary flight restrictions. The big question is, why? At this point, it is unclear why these new restrictions were deemed necessary. it could have been just simply that people saw more drones buzzing around and decided to call it in and complain about it. So they said, okay, fine, we'll put up some more restrictions temporarily.
I think that's it. Like, to me, like, let's clear the skies of pretty much everything that we can clear, right? Let's put all these things on the ground. So we stop with the phone calls, we stop whatever, and then let's see what's still up there.
Right. And then we'll go from there. So they said that, like I said, of the 5,000 reports, photos, videos, all that, only about 100 merited any real investigation. They said most were just planes or other aircraft, authorized drones or stars even. Here's my favorite part from NJ.com. So when asked about this, why did you implement these new temporary restrictions? The FAA referred questions to the Federal Department of Homeland Security, which referred those questions back to the FAA. Yeah, see, that's what happens. These agencies,
you
man.
have to talk to these guys over
This happens all the time. That these agencies don't want anything to do with it, so they just point to the other agency. Then that agency points back. So as of now, no one's talking about these new temporary restrictions, but they have been put in place this week.
Hey, coming up, we got the Pancake Breakfast Special, and there's a video element to this presentation, I'm told. So you want to be watching the live stream, you can click Watch Live on our digital app, on our website. Text WATCH to 855-616-1620. We'll send you a link on how to watch live along with us on Wisconsin's Morning News. Make sure you're watching, Deb.
I'm watching. I'm always I'm like Roz. I'm always watching. So there. Okay. Looking great on the roads right now. We do have broken down vehicle westbound 794 right about at Jackson. It's off on the right shoulder, not causing an issue. Volume is so light that we have not seen a delay yet. So everything is rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring great tips on how to operate your home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here. Here's a not-so-fun fact for you. Recent studies showed that only 40% of managers, so fewer than half, have annual check-ins with their direct reports. That's not good, especially when today's younger workers crave development and growth. The LAK Group has a new tool. They call it Coaching on Demand. It's a cutting-edge platform. It connects leaders and professionals with certified coaches and seamlessly integrates AI into their development journey, and it's all done on their schedule. You can learn more at transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage. 8:43, Wisconsin's Morning News 2025 off to a roaring start at full strength here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie's been doing the cars. Adam's working on the news in the newsroom. Erik and Vinny here with you till 9 o'clock. And Greg Pancake Hill is the producer of this program. So this week, a lot of stuff left over. Things didn't quite make it into the rundown. We also didn't have a show on New Year's Day. So
that's right.
A lot of leftovers, which we assigned Pancake to whip up a little something extra, with what's still in the fridge, in a thing that we call the Pancake Breakfast Special.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
This might be the one and only time our favorite term, all eyes, is accepted. It's not a matter of where these eyes are, but on what? We have a situation out in Bend, Oregon, everyone, about 3 hours east of Eugene. This is Central Oregon, and there is a vandal at large, and it is serious, so I don't want to hear any laughing, okay? Very serious. Here's a report from Oregon, Central Oregon News.
Someone or multiple people have been vandalizing the City of Bend roundabout artwork, vandalizing them with googly eyes.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. And listen, this is serious clear vandalism.
It's statues like the one here on Simpson Avenue that have been the victim of being googly-eyed.
And this is where I point you to the video stream if you want to text watch to the WTMJ talking text line. 855-616-1620. You will see the vandalized artwork in Bend, Oregon. And there it is, a spherical symbol with googly eyes on it. There's the horse that stands proudly in Bend, Oregon.
And those are three-dimensional googly eyes.
And those are very good observation. They are three-dimensional, and they're to scale, too, it seems, which I
not so much on that
very much appreciate. Also, the deer. And it doesn't stop there. There's more victims, as they say.
Another victim of being googly-eyed, the Phoenix statue on Galveston Avenue.
The Phoenix statue on the video stream right now.
The one on Galveston?
The one on Galveston has been googly-eyed. Now, Assistant City Manager Stephanie Betteridge, she doesn't think it's all that funny.
The adhesive that's used to do that really damages the art. So we're trying to get it off quickly to minimize the damage.
Okay, right? And
Okay,
I said...
all right.
The duct tape used.
The adhesive, Eric. Listen to how the assistant manager talks about this installation. Again, not funny.
But we've had eight pieces that have had eyes installed on them and over the past few months.
Hold on, time out. Was there a chuckle in there?
I heard it.
Can I hear that again,
Yeah.
assistant city manager?
But we've had eight pieces that have had eyes installed on them and over the past few months.
Oh, I think I caught it.
Trying to hold it together.
Sorry, Steph.
A little bit of a chuckle there.
Besides just the jokes, which are no longer funny.
But that implies that at one point, they were kind of funny. So why would the city be upset? Well, as always, there's a cost to removing the googly eyes.
It's cost over $1,500 to remove that.
$1,500?
Come on.
Goodness gracious. How much googly eyeing is happening? $1,500.
I think the contractor outbid that one.
A little bit. Isn't adhesive remover like $8
Yeah,
at the
that was the
hardware
low
store?
bid. Doesn't that
A little
guy
bit
on
of that Goo Gone stuff, it'll take it right out of it.
Right.
Isn't there a TV infomercial on some
So-
sort of removal that you can get for $8? Buy now, we'll throw in another one for free.
So what do we love about these local stories? Well, they do man-on-the-street interviews. That's what we call it in the biz. Of course, it's a man on the street being interviewed by a reporter from Central Oregon News.
I think it's kind of funny. I think it's a little ridiculous.
Okay, so we don't really know where we come down on this as a city issue. Kind of funny, but the best part is he gets more honest.
I think the googly eyes are somebody's got a whole lot of extra time.
Well, all right, that is
Probably
also true. Any parting thoughts on the googly eye situation? Don't laugh.
This is Eugene, you said?
This is east of Eugene, about 3
In
hours.
Bend.
This is Bend, Oregon.
When's the last time anybody talked about Bend, Oregon?
Well, I'll tell you. Talking about it right now.
So that's, my takeaway. Again, you can't vandalize stuff, and it is a serious point. If they are intent to remove these, there is a cost associated with that and potential damage. That said, you know how many people are going to Bend, Oregon right now to see the googly eyes?
8.
That was 8 more than more.
Indeed. So I thought, listen, what if this plagued Milwaukee? What if the bronze fonts had googly eyes? Or what about the actual art museum being googly-eyed?
Vandalizing them with googly eyes.
Googly eyes. Even better yet, I'm telling you, what if, now bear with me here, what if the art car was googly-eyed, and then maybe that would make us not take the art car seriously. Yeah, and by the way, I have the art car on the video stream. If it were to don the googly eyes.
That looks fantastic.
Oh, my.
So some may ask, is this public defacement of art? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? A few laughs? Even a chuckle? The real cost at what cost this is? Approximately $1,500.
I'm telling you, if I had one of these wineries out there in Oregon, googly-eyed red.
Yeah,
Oh,
here we go.
just
capitalize on it.
Capitalize on it. Own what you are.
I think it's kind of funny. I think it's a little ridiculous.
Craft breweries out there, they're going to have special stuff.
The googly beer. Googly beer. We're going to find you, this vandal in Bend, Oregon. We're looking for you.
Vandalizing them with googly eyes.
All right, Debbie.
My husband ran a half marathon in Bend, Oregon. He absolutely loved it. So I wonder if he saw some of those googly eyes.
Like recently?
Nah, it was a couple years ago. So
I don't know if there's like a googly-eyed
Is there a
association with Ben necessarily.
Statute of limitations.
Until you hear about it happening in another city, then we may have a threat on our hands, but until then.
Okay. Right now, actually looking great on the roads, my friends. We don't really have any kind of major issues out there. No delays. It's been a wonderful day so far. Happy Friday. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Erik Bilstad. As we ring in 2025, are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? It's time to make a resolution, to get moving again. No more achy joints for your knees, your hips, shoulders, or your back. You're going to call QC Kinetics in 2025, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. Got locations in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions. So many of your neighbors here in Milwaukee are living life again without the constant pain in their joints. Here's what you do. Resolve to get lasting relief in 2025. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today. Happy New Year.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Happy New Year. Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. If you're looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you got to do what my wife and I just did. And we went to Built Right to get our new living room furniture, and then, not enough. New Year's Day. Look at my wife. I'm like, what's up? Where are you going? She's going, I'm just going to swing on by Built Right and grab one of the mattresses because that mattress sale is going right now. We got a good one, too. Give your home a refresh in the new year with Built Right's New Year's sale and $1 million clearance sell-off on now. All about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. You got the 4 generations, 97 years strong. 3rd and 4th generation family members, they're right there in the store working alongside their amazing team. Thousands of items are in stock, or you can custom order at a low sale price. USA-made, small-scale, Ohio Amish-made, real solid wood. 48 models of PowerLift recliners in stock. 60 models of USA-made mattresses, including the flippable and heavy-duty models so many people like. Free in-store design services as well. Built Right voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
8:53 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Got your WTMJ forecast here, sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Cold is the word. High just 24 degrees today under mostly sunny skies. Tonight's low down to 10. Wind chills could dip below 0. And below 0 wind chills may be a thing on Saturday through the day under mostly sunny skies and a high of just 22. Sunday, I don't see any wind chill alerts here, but mostly cloudy and a high of just 26. Right now, 17 in Milwaukee. Golden Globes coming up this weekend. The end-of-the-year blockbuster Wicked nominated for 4 of them. It's up for Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, Best Picture of the Year, Cinematic, and Box Office Achievements. So we've been talking about Wicked a little bit because there's this friend of our family. His name is John Fricke. His father and my grandfather, they worked together for 1,000 years at Falk. Okay. So I've known John my entire life. He happens to be the world's foremost expert on The Wizard of Oz. He is an Oz historian. He's an Emmy Award-winning writer and producer and author of the official 50th anniversary pictorial history of the 1939 film. He met on multiple occasions, knew a bit Judy Garland, and has multiple books on her as well. So the guy is the authority
He's
on
educated.
The Wizard of Oz.
He's a legend in Oconomowoc.
As you can imagine, with all this buzz, yes, where the movie premiered. With all this buzz about Oz because of Wicked, you know, he's been pretty popular lately. He's in big demand.
85 years since the Judy Garland movie came out, and Wicked in its 21st year on Broadway, and now breaking box office records all over the place as a film, and it's just very exciting that Oz just keeps regenerating itself.
So I caught up with John when we were in New York earlier in December, and we were actually chatting just outside Junior's Deli, which, if you know New York City and Manhattan, it's right there in the heart of the Broadway district. Where, oh, by the way, Wicked is still running.
Yep.
And it's still touring. In fact, it's coming here to Milwaukee in this year. So this much I've always known about John's relationship with the story as it's portrayed in Wicked.
You were slow to appreciate Wicked, were you not? Absolutely. Gregory Maguire, who wrote the 4-book Wicked series, I mean, his book Wicked is very original. It is very much Oz upside down, if you will. It is very, very adult. It is violent. It is political. It is sexual. It is war. It is all these things that, to me, have nothing to do with Oz. The real Oz is the Frank Baum book series and the MGM movie.
So that's interesting. Frankie, you know, while coming to appreciate Wicked in its own right, and in particular the musicals, absolutely rejects that there is, for example, any good in the Wicked Witch of the West or any evil at all in the purely good Witch of the North, Glinda, and a host of other leaps that Wicked makes. So he has come to appreciate the musical, and now he said, you know, everybody in the Oz world is abuzz about the film and the justice that it does to the Broadway show, all of those things. He's just like, great story, just not that story. That is not the same story. It's not canon.
Okay. Well, I know that going in now. It's not a canon film.
I like to believe it. Like, you know,
there were some moments where you're like, wow, okay.
Like, it makes sense. I get it. But not, you know, if you know Oz as Milwaukee's own John Fricke does, not the same place, not the same story.
But he still liked it.
Yes.
Okay.
Up for 4 Golden Globes this weekend. That'll be CBS on Sunday. So you will bring us a full review?
Yes.
I've assigned that to you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, all the highlights we'll bring back to you on Monday.
8:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News. That's it for us. We're going to hand it over to Steve Scafidi in the WTMJ Political Power Hour.
Joe and Bill in. Big Friday show, as always, in the Political Power Hour.
Let's crank it up.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.